Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
Sactown Sports.
It's time. It is that time. Time for Stiles and Watkins.
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140. Find us on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140.
It's time for Alan Stiles and Chris Watkins.
Yes. No case of the Mondays here, especially when you get a beam on Saturday. Stiles and Watkins taking you up to 2 p.m. Simone behind the glass doing her thing for us today as we get you ready for Kings Sixers. Chris Watkins, how's it going?
Great. Fantastic. Yesterday was a beautiful day. I saw you were out at the Giants River Cats game.
That's right.
Just, took a look outside yesterday and I was like, wow, this is like the start of a new season here. I know usually Sacramento likes to throw a little pump fake in the nice weather department
on Saturday.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Don't love it. Don't love going from rain to like the most beautiful weather I've ever seen in 24 hours. But man, it's just a sign that the season is coming.
Sacramento.
And, it's going to be great.
Big baseball city.
That's right. That's what I keep hearing.
The vibes out at Sutter Health yesterday were immaculate. It was crazy out there, crazy packed. And I thought it was pretty funny, just the kind of juxtaposition of it being Giants River Cats, because it did sound like River Cats got louder cheers, even though obviously they're the AAA for the Giants.
Hey, man, River Cats won, didn't they?
They did. My question is, can you be a River Cats fan and not a Giants fan?
Why not?
Sure. I know back in the day they were connected to the A's.
Yeah, right.
But now being connected to the Giants, because there's some people out there, they were definitely getting louder cheers for the River Cats than the Giants, but it was a great time.
Home field advantage.
That's right. It was a great time out there. It was very scenic. You got the bridge in the background. That was my first time being there. Yeah, and a great situation. Dusty Baker threw out the first pitch, so that was great as he's now back home, a part of the Giants organization. And the Kings. The Kings take care of business again. I was I told you, we were hanging out over the weekend trying our luck. So we were watching the game around like-minded individuals and holding our breath throughout most of it towards the end. I know other fans, I've seen this specifically. I think it was Mavs Muse or somebody like that. It was a Mavericks fan. And basically they were complaining about how lucky the Kings have gotten in clutch situations all season long.
Yeah, I saw that as well. I disagree, but for sure. I mean, I don't think the Kings got lucky down the stretch. I mean, I think the one thing that the referees were a bit iffy, but they've been iffy really these past couple weeks since they've changed the rules here. I didn't love that Jalen Suggs push, and they called it a late whistle. I thought it was the right call, but I didn't love the process of it because he kind of he touched his hip, and then there was kind of like 2 seconds of De'Aaron falling back court, and then they don't call it until De'Aaron actually goes back court. So it was a little clunky. I wouldn't call it lucky. I would just say that it was poorly timed by the official. But no, I mean, we'll show Dallas exactly how lucky we get.
Well,
we got 2 of them things coming up this week.
We got 2 of them. It is a huge week for
cannot be overstated.
Not just the Kings. A lot of NBA teams this week right here is going to at least set the table, right?
Yeah.
You're not done. The Kings could lose 2 to the Mavericks. They wouldn't be done, but
they'd be close.
It wouldn't be good.
Yeah.
It would not be good. The Kings could beat the Mavericks twice and still not be able to close the door.
True.
But this is a big week just in terms of setting yourself up for the rest of your schedule. Because as we've talked about over and over and over again, Kings have a harder schedule than the Mavericks, a slightly easier schedule than the Suns. So the Suns, they basically, and we'll get into pocket watching later in the show, but around 12:15. But the Suns basically, this is one of their last easy games tonight. They have the Spurs. After that, they get the T-Wolves twice. They also have they don't have Karl Anthony Towns. They will have the Pelicans, who now obviously don't have Brandon Ingram. So we'll get into all that a little bit later in the show. Also, Jason Domas Cron 4 News. He joins us at 11. Not only is Jason the sports director for Cron 4 in the Bay Area, he also does sideline for the Santa Cruz Warriors, but he was from Philly. So he's broken stories for Philadelphia, for the Eagles most recently with Saquon Barkley, and he knows his 76ers. So we're going to talk Sixers basketball with Jason against a Sixers team that's been reeling.
Yeah.
And I'm very scared about is anyone I know normally we say it's not happening, but after this last one, I'm just putting it on the table. I'm scared. I am very worried. Tyrese Maxey is going to be the most improved player.
Yeah.
I think he's got the shortest odds, similar to Malik in that 6-man range. So I'm definitely worried about that. But before we get into all that, it's time.
It's time
for Frank Facts.
Yes, that's right. America's favorite segment, Frank Facts, where we bring you all the facts that Frankie Cardicelli let us know in his post-game recap of the Sacramento Kings, which you can find after every single game over at SactownSports.com. Let's get into it. Frankie lets us know that the Kings have clinched their second straight season of over 500 basketball, of 500 basketball, I should say, with getting their 41st win of the season. That then confirms that the Kings, again, for the second straight year, for the first time since 2005, 2006, the Kings have had back-to-back seasons of finishing over 41 wins. Again, something where it might have felt like a crazy season during this time or during the season, but taking a step back, acknowledging the fact that this organization, this franchise has come a very, very, very long way in just 2 short seasons. Definitely a very, very good sign, as was Keon Ellis's performance. Keon was one of 4 Sacramento Kings players who scored 10-plus points during the first half of Saturday's game against Orlando. Domantas Sabonis put in 12. Fox had 10. Keegan Murray had a strong start again with 10 points on Saturday. Sabonis, we're going to talk about this a little bit later. Sabonis also set a new career high for double-doubles posted during a single regular season with 66. 66
wow.
of I think 70 games they've played, so only 4 games Sabonis has not had a double-double this year. That leads the NBA this season. His previous high was 65, and that was just last year. The Kings are now 10-5 this season when Keegan Murray scores 20-plus points. And Keegan had himself one heck of a game on Saturday, 8 of 12, 6 of 7 from 3, 22 points, a team-high plus 21 in the box plus minus, and his dad was sitting courtside too. A little extra pressure there, and Keegan absolutely delivered. Hit a very, very clutch 3, I believe, to put the Kings up or to tie them back up with Orlando. And it was a really, really solid game out of Keegan, and I think he had 5 fouls as well. So playing through that and not fouling out was huge for Keegan.
He was extremely important. If you lose Keegan at any point there, that would have been rough. Obviously, you're missing shooting already. The one thing about Keegan Murray, and we'll talk more about him throughout the show, is that even keel that we talk about as far as not getting too high, not getting too low. You can't tell if Keegan just scored 35 points or 5 points. And I think that sometimes we sit there and we say, man, it would be nice to see more energy, not just from Keegan, from the whole team, but in situations when things aren't going good, it is nice to see somebody who is still only in his second year be able to just flush what happened last game and be able to continue with this game. And I know we'll talk about all the good, but how about we'll go prop talk here. How about Malik Monk? When is the last time he went scoreless?
He has not gone scoreless all season long. I looked this up in the post-game recap show. He has only finished with 0 points one other time in his Kings career. It was the second game of the season last year, where he only played 13 minutes. He wasn't really a part of the rotation yet. Nobody really knew what was going on. He was not 0 of 11. That was something special.
No.
However, I will say, we talk a lot about Malik's free agency here. He's going to have 0 points and go 0 of 11 versus anybody. Doing against that Orlando Magic team.
That's right.
It's a pretty good team to do it against because they are definitely the team, especially after watching them on Saturday. That's a team where Malik Monk goes there, and he's probably their number 2 scoring option, no doubt. And that's a pretty fun team. That's a pretty fun team that could realistically be top 4 in the Eastern Conference moving forward. So hopefully that made them kind of readjust their free agency priorities after watching that.
Got to throw off the scent little bit.
That's right.
Got to throw off the scent.
Exactly.
That just proves how much Malik wants to stay in Sacramento.
Exactly.
Subconsciously, he wasn't obviously trying to miss, but subconsciously, man, if I do too well here, I might get put in a situation. Yeah. So that's chess, not checkers.
Exactly.
That is chess, not checkers for
King
Malik
for life.
Monk.
Malik
but
Monk.
It was incredible to watch because you're just thinking something has to fall here, and it wasn't just the missed shots. He just looked a bit off. All game long, but the Kings were able to power through,
which is honestly the most impressive part of the win to me.
Yeah,
like Malik has been so good, especially recently. He's been so good all season long. I mean, if I were to tell you the Kings scored under 110 points and Malik Monk didn't score at all, he was 0 of 10, and Kevin Huerter's out and Trey Lyles, that's a loss 10 out of 10 times.
7 points for the bench.
Woo!
7 points, and you won that game.
And they had 2 bench players on the Orlando side who scored. One scored 16 and one scored 25.
Yeah.
So it was all starters.
The Kings just find a way to get it done in Disney World.
That's right.
And now they come back home, and Dave said it during the crossover that the Kings are 6-6 in these situations with some bad losses. Yeah. I'm worried. Don't feel good about it, and hopefully this is just not the time if you're the Kings. Now ultimately the Mavericks, right? You go up against the Mavericks team, you'll still get to face them head to head, but to just build that momentum, this is a huge week for the Kings, and we have everything you need for the next 2 hours and plus 2 more, 4 hours, taking you up to 2 p.m. as we get you ready for Sixers. No Philly cheesesteak today. Stiles Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Kevin Huerter plays here.
It's Huerter. He's been hot. He fires. He's still hot. Kevin Huerter from downtown has a 15-point first quarter.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
Join Chris Watkins and the Sactown Sports Street Team this Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. at Fieldhouse American Sports Pub for some basketball madness and their mouth-watering full menu, 1310 Fulton Avenue. See you there.
Sacramento has a new tag team in the midday. It's Stiles and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Shout out to the Sac Chat and the text line. All guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. From the 209, Paolo is so good. He's going to be a stud for a long time, in my opinion. Yeah, he is really, really good. And he's a guy who I know they're going to start the conversations as they always do. Oh, should he go to a bigger market? Because that's what everybody does. That's just how it is. Because he's not really getting talked about that much. And he's coming off a Rookie of the Year campaign. And weirdly enough, it feels like they are the hottest team, the youngest hottest team that nobody's talking about. Nobody is talking about at all. 22 points, which was light work compared to what he did against the Kings when they were in Sacramento. 22 points, 1 for 6 from three-point range. Did not have it going from three-point range, which he did last time they played. And Jalen Suggs was another guy who balled out last time the Kings faced off against the Magic, but 1 for 5 from 3 for 10 from field goal. And that really, to me, was a bit of the difference. Even though Jonathan Isaac, we're going to keep it in between the lines here, But
my goodness,
that dude, and I've heard people say he's been injured, right? And I've heard people say this dude could really be a player for somebody. And I know he's kind of been in early trade conversations, and it kind of goes away because of the injury history and things like that. But if he figures it out, or if he can at least stay on the court, I understand now why people are saying what this guy could be. And that's one of those things, Chris, where you go into the game plan saying, hey, we have to live with something. And that was just not the day to try to live with it. He was just balling. I mean, 38% from three, and he's just been hot to trot. We saw what he did against the Kings. He shot 75% from 3-point range, 75%. And I know that's obviously not the norm, as he shoots 38% on the year, but yeah, that guy can do some things.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, it's really just a matter of him staying healthy. He's been a guy who was drafted really high, and there's been hopes for him for a long time. I mean, even like 4 years ago, the Magic were planning to build their team around Jonathan Isaac, and it just never worked out. His knees never cooperated, and you see on a day like Saturday. I mean, I've heard a couple Magic people talking recently about Jonathan Isaac not being you talk about Paolo Banchero, Jonathan Isaac not being brought up enough in the defensive player of the year conversation. And you see how he could definitely fit that category because he had that block on Sabonis, which was ridiculous. And then you saw what he brought on the offensive end. I know that this is kind of a thing that every team does, and we just kind of joked about it from the Malik angle. If I'm Monty McNair, I'm definitely writing Jonathan Isaac's name down in some notes because that was somebody who you just think about. If that guy's on the Kings, like the Kings just don't have a guy who does those kind of things. Right. That is the Jared Vanderbilt, the Jaden McDaniels.
Yes.
That is what Jonathan Isaac brings, but with maybe potentially a lot more potential on the offensive end. But you have to weigh out, does it outweigh the injury risk? And so far it hasn't, but again, a team like Sacramento, you play that guy as much as he can, and I think it makes a huge impact.
Yeah, you just take a chance on somebody like that if you have an opportunity, because as we get into Keon Ellis a little bit later in the show, and of course he got another DPOG chain, which we said once he gets the most, they're probably going to say, all right, we're going to retire. We can't, it's like LeBron. We can't just make LeBron MVP every year for that whole stretch. But Keon Ellis is not that, right? Yes, Keon Ellis, we saw against Wings. He's a guard.
Yeah.
He's a guard. He's a long guard, but he is a guard. And he's an elite defender on elite guards, which you can use him, and he can do a good enough job on some of these bigger dudes. But you still need that wing defense. That you have a 3-and-D guard in Keon Ellis, and maybe even more than just 3, as he can get to the bucket a little bit and do some things. He had that switch where he went up, he went back and forth, and then hit the little air
little
sky hook, push shot, whatever it is. So he can do some things offensively. You still need, this is still a wing driven league.
Yes.
And we know you have
who's stopping Kyle Kuzma, man?
Keegan, but is Keegan still too small? Is that the problem, or not athletic enough?
I would say not strong enough.
Yeah.
I would say maybe not physical enough in general. And I don't know if the physicality part's ever going to come, but I hope that one day he gets strong enough to play those kind of guys. Because I think that's going to be where he has his advantage. Because, again, you see a guy like Jonathan Isaac, how he moves. Keegan's never going to be that Jonathan Isaac is almost a special kind of athlete. To be that tall, 6'11", and be able to move like that, not many people can do that. Kyle Kuzma's another guy, frankly, and funny enough, we just played him, but yeah, I don't know if Keegan's ever going to be able to really slow those guys down until he's able to kind of out-physical them.
During the game, did you ever feel, because we've seen this before, and when there's a guy who, you got to respect them, 38%, but you were willing to live with it, while watching the game, and we do this, right? Fans do this, and you see it happening, and you think, why don't they make an adjustment? If Isaac, we saw when Grayson Allen, right? When Grayson Allen gets on a heater, Isaac was in the zone.
Yes.
Right? Was there any point while you were watching the game that made you feel, all right, maybe make an adjustment, or are you playing the numbers thinking at some point he's going to miss, and he essentially never did?
Yeah, I would play the numbers and just say at some point he's going to miss, because if you're doubling Jonathan Isaac, I mean, that's that's a loss. Like,
but
you can't do that.
Doubling, but somewhere in the rotation they were willing to live with him.
Yeah.
So changing that rotation.
They were, because they switch everything, and then maybe it's not a good thing if Keon or Chris Duarte ends up switched onto Jonathan Isaac. That's just never going to work. So maybe changing the defensive focus to maybe more of a box and one or something where you're kind of singularly focused, or we're going to keep our best matchup on Isaac because he's a problem right now. You could definitely do something like that. Or I think Mike Brown was probably just playing the numbers and saying, look, this guy is not going to kill. Like, there's no way if this guy keeps shooting, he's going to continue to make it. He did continue to make it. He really was their best life raft for a majority of that game. But I think you just got to live with the results sometimes. And if a team's 8th best offensive weapon is killing you, sometimes you just got to say, maybe it's not our night.
He averages 7 points a game.
Exactly.
4 rebounds and not even 1 assist. He's shooting 52% from the floor.
He eclipsed all that in like 7 minutes. His first little stint, I think he had 17 points.
25 points he had against the Sacramento Kings.
Ridiculous.
7 rebounds. Okay. 1 steal, 2 blocks. He was a plus 26 on the evening. He was 10 for 13 from the floor.
Just look at just combine all the forwards production between Isaac, Franz, and Paolo.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's really, that tells you the Kings' weakness there. Like, if they go against, and that's what makes the Clippers such an impossible matchup to tie it into maybe some other Western Conference teams, is like, if you've got that much size, and I just don't know if the Kings can have any answers with Harrison Barnes and Keegan being their only forwards right now.
From the homework that you did on the Orlando Magic,
Yeah.
I'm just looking at some of these numbers. Do you know why Houston is starting or what that's all about? I'm just looking at Cole Anthony and Markelle Fultz coming off the bench, but Houston only played 11 minutes. Cole Anthony played 31. Markelle Fultz played 19. Just kind of curious as to why.
He's just a shooter.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it's kind of like a much lesser Kevin Huerter, but essentially just a guy who they're hoping comes in, hits a couple threes, and if he does knock them down, then great. But if not, they have so much. The problem with them is they have so many guards who are good, not great, or great, not in that next like really talked about tier. That's why Malik Monk. It's a perfect Malik Monk landing spot. They have a lot of good guys, but not a lot of great guys. And Cole Anthony's really just a good score. Cole Anthony's kind of like their Malik Monk. He just kind of comes in, does it all. So you can't really start him. It's just a really weird lineup. They still need a guard, and that's kind of why they're just imperfect.
They keep getting guards, but none of them are that
guy.
Right? Yep. They have a bunch of 6 men.
Yes,
as guards.
That's exactly what they have. Yeah, Markelle is good, not great. I'm not starting him. He's not starting. Same with Cole Anthony. It's really just a bunch of okay guys. And Jalen Suggs is ridiculous on the defensive end, but offensively, I mean, he's really inconsistent.
He's like a mini Josh Hart to me.
Yes, absolutely.
So they will definitely. This was on Friday. Somebody on the text line said, what if they throw, or maybe it was on social media, had tagged me, and they said, what if the Magic throw Malik 4 for 90?
Exactly.
And
that's the fear.
What if?
Yeah.
What are you saying? You're saying goodbye to Malik if that happens.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
There is no if. Yeah.
Yeah.
If Malik gets 20.
That's about 22.
Plus,
Yeah. So hopefully that doesn't happen, but we have plenty of time to discuss that. We also have plenty of time to discuss the 76ers. Ashley, we see you on the line. We will get to you when we get back. We're opening up the phone lines, 916-339-1140. Also, we're talking Keon, Ellis Island, Stiles Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's stopped the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Heard the catchphrase that's sweeping the nation?
Jackson Hugh, yeah.
People are saying Jackson Hugh, yeah, to Jackson Hewitt because they love saving money on tax prep. Do you love saving money? Then switch to Jackson Hewitt today and pay less than last year. Thousands of people have already made the switch. Why haven't you? Stop waiting and start filing. You won't get a better deal. or a better catchphrase. All together now.
Jackson Hugh, yeah!
Proof of prior year payment required when filing. New clients only at participating locations through April 7th. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home, and the men who use PTO to catch afternoon basketball in March with the boys. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Who wants to settle for a single TV? With more TVs, bigger screens, plus our fabulous scenic views, there's more to watch at Twin Peaks.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com. Your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
According to Bogey Jones in the Daily Divot, golf is the best sport ever, and they provide a few reasons why. Some include no two courses are the same, so you'll never get bored. Some are wicked long, others have super thick rough, and others have fast greens. Enjoy the variety. You can make the game competitive with anyone. With other sports, bigger, stronger, younger opponents may have an edge. In golf, different tees and a formal handicap system makes it competitive, even if you're a 30 handicap. Golf can't be conquered. One day you can't miss a shot, the next day you want to throw all your clubs into the lake. The unpredictability is fascinating, and age is just a number. You can play when you're 70 years old. In fact, some don't take up the game until later in life, but don't wait that long. And you'll meet amazing people, celebrities, athletes, successful CEOs. You never know who you'll meet on a golf course. And oh yeah, it's a game. So have some fun. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Hey guys, do you know your T level? Revive Men's Health here in Sacramento is helping you take that first step toward better health and enhanced intimacy with a free testosterone level test, exam, and consultation. Plus, for this month only, qualified patients can kickstart their treatment with a free supply of ED medication. Revive's customized ED treatments can provide immediate results, restore blood flow naturally, and even bring spontaneity back into your love life. With both in-person and telemedicine appointments available, plus free shipping directly to you, Revive takes the hassle out of treating low T and ED. Having an optimal testosterone level can change your whole life, and it starts with knowing your T level. Take that first step and book your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation, and kickstart your treatment with a free supply of ED medication this month only. Call Revive Men's Health Sacramento at 916-365-4566. That's 916-365-4566, or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
Chris, there was a term that was going around, what was this, maybe a year or two ago? And I'm very happy that we have retired it, it feels like. But I also think it's very applicable to this season with the Kings. You remember when everybody, with the obsession over, this game is drunk. Do you remember that?
Yes. Yeah. This year is drunk. And everything was drunk.
And it just got so played out. Yeah. Sometimes it did make sense, but it got so played out. I feel like that was maybe 2022.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it made it to 2023.
No, Dave still says that all the time.
He still says that.
All
well,
the time.
that tracks. That tracks that he's still
throw that out.
He's
there.
still dabbing as well. Is he still? He's still dabbing as well.
Flossing, actually.
Yeah, oh yeah. The floss cam.
Yeah.
Now it's connected to dental, so that's
Exactly.
why. But the kids still floss. But I must say, for the Kings, if you were to use, this would be a great time to use that term because this season has been pretty dry.
No, this season's faded, dude. This season needs to have its keys put away, and somebody needs to
Captain
take care
Keys.
of this season.
Yeah,
because it needs to get home safely. It's the
ridiculous.
point that we're at right now. Is we just want to make sure that this season lays gets home, lays in bed, nice and comfy,
eat some bread,
maybe get a nice little bowl on the side of the bed. You never know what's going to happen late. Okay,
a bowl.
Or a bag of trash.
There we go. Okay, I'm just holding you accountable.
A bowl would be interesting.
Ew.
A big
It's all
bowl.
the same.
It is.
It's all the same.
Hey, I wouldn't know.
The same vehicle.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, this season has definitely been a roller coaster. It's been dizzy. It's just and yes, the other day in the post game chat, someone was like, "Will the real Kings please stand up?" And I said, brother, we're 70 games into the season.
Yeah.
This is who they are.
This is who they are
at this point.
Which is why I'm so worried for tonight. Because we know who they are.
We
know.
Today's a really good opportunity to overlook your opponent and get ready for Tuesday.
9.5 point favorites.
9.5 point favorites.
Aye.
We've already seen this movie before. The Kings already played the Sixers without Joel Embiid.
But I'm not. Look, we said last week we are no longer doing the. They have to have it because whenever we do that, they don't have it.
Yes,
they don't have it.
They never do.
Hey, Kings, maybe you want this game today?
Yeah,
maybe you don't.
Possibly.
It's up to you.
It'd be cool.
It's up to you. 916-339-1140. Let's get to Ashley, who wants to be a part of the conversation. What's up, Ashley? What you got for us?
So first off, I want to say those are some great points that you guys made about how this team is and how we're 70 games in and this is the real Kings, but at the same time I think that this is a game that the Kings might be able to get up for. And the reason why I say that is you guys did talk about how we've already played them without Embiid and we did struggle. And so I think that's one thing where they can look back at that game and say, we've already got by this team without Embiid. And two, I'm trying to go back to see when this happened because I do remember that game. I just don't remember exactly when it was. Trying to look at the box score, but I don't think, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Keon got the start. And so I wonder if with Keon starting, if he might be able to get up for a game against Maxey potentially.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Ashley. And not only did the Kings get embarrassed, they got embarrassed on national television.
That's right.
And that was a game. Didn't that game get flexed into national? I don't think it originally was.
Yes, it did.
Then it got flexed, and then Embiid ended up being out, and then they got embarrassed.
They sure did.
So, and I'm pretty darn sure Keon was not starting.
He did not start. He played 10 minutes, one of three. I'd imagine it was probably in garbage time, as Colby Jones also played 8 minutes.
Okay.
So there you go.
And I remember it was a Friday night because I remember I was ready to eat a cheesesteak on video, okay, and say, hey, we on that Sixers pack.
That's right.
And send it to all my friends. And then I had to walk everything back. The Kings really got me that time. But hopefully, to Ashley's point, they remember that.
That's right.
In the same way other teams have remembered when the Kings have got them, and they can get up for this because they need it for multiple reasons. And you've already broken one losing streak this season with the Bucks.
That's right.
Why not do it against the Sixers as well?
That's right. Exercise all those demons. I think they also swept the Lakers for the first time in like 20 years or something like that. It's been a long time since they've done that. They did that this season. Why not? No, definitely. I think that the point of them already playing them without Embiid, you've already gotten the shock of, oh my gosh, we can't just roll the ball out there and think that we can beat these guys. Even though the Sixers haven't played great without Joel this year, They still do, as Ashley put there, have Tyrese Maxey, who you hope Keon, that's going to be the guy that Keon's going to be tasked with today is don't let Tyrese Maxey score 30 points, because that's really the most clear and obvious way of the Sixers having a chance tonight is Tyrese Maxey doing what he does. But maybe Tobias Harris has a big night too. Hopefully, let's hope not. Buddy Hield is going to be back in Golden One Center today. He might have something for this team. So the Kings are definitely going to have to not overlook this opponent. They lost 10 straight to him. Hopefully, I just kind of joked about it, but hopefully they seriously don't just have their eyes set on those two Maverick games, because they do. Tonight is incredibly important in terms of setting yourself up for being ahead of Dallas before those two games. So, it's going to be a really, really big night for the Kings, and hopefully they just show up, man. Hopefully they give themselves a chance, because last time these two teams played, they didn't even have a chance.
It feels like the Kings are better when they're chasing something. Like, I feel more confident about the Kings when they're in the 7 seed than I do when they're already in the 6 seed. And we've talked about how Mike Brown has said that they have the standings up so they can see all this. I'm telling you, man, I love talking about subconscious and just the human mind. And I'm telling you, they're playing harder when they're in the 7 seed. They are. It feels like it.
I refuse to believe
when they're in the 6 seed, it's okay, cool. We're out of it. The feeling of getting out of that cave and the survival feeling, I don't know if they play like that when they're in the 6 seed.
I disagree.
I
disagree. I think you just notice it more when they're up front, because you have the people chasing you. But when you're the one chasing, it feels more like, hey, we're on their heels. But when you're ahead, it's like, oh my gosh, if we lose today,
I think they get a little tight. I think they get a little tight. I'm telling you right now.
Games. They've had a great record.
I'm telling you right now. They're going to ball out tomorrow, and I'll tell you this much. I'm close, Chris. I might rather you go into the last game of the season, and I think they have the Trailblazers. Actually,
they do. Game 82, yeah.
Those last 2 games, if it's, hey, win 2 and you're in, or, hey, you're already in the 6 seed, you just got to hold it. I would rather be in the 7 seed to win.
No, you're too fresh.
You're
too
win.
Fresh here.
Even if the Suns or Mavericks win, all the Kings based on all the tiebreakers, all the Kings have to do is win. No. And they're in from the 7 seed. I think I'd prefer that than holding on in the 6 seed. No. I'm telling you.
Can I opt out of both of those situations?
No, I would like to as well.
Yeah, they're not. I don't trust them in either of those situations. I just hope it's already made up by then.
By the way, the Sixers most recently yesterday, they're on the second half of their back-to-back. Kings are starting a back-to-back themselves tonight. Sixers beat the Clippers 121-107. Okay? If you're wondering, did the big 3 for the Clippers play? They did. Paul George, 18 points. Kawhi Leonard, 20 points. James Harden, 12 points, 14 assists, and it wasn't close. It was not close. Tobias Harris, 24 points. Kelly Oubre, 12 points.
Gosh.
Tyrese Maxey, 24 points. Cameron Payne, they got the lefty. Cameron Payne hit him
for jump shot
for 23 points.
No,
they hit him up.
Can't have that.
So I'm saying, man, do not sleep on this team.
I'm not. Oh no, I don't think they are either.
You are.
I know they aren't either. I don't think that. I don't think that it's a matter of letting them, overlooking the Sixers. I just wonder if it's they're so ready for those Maverick games. But it's a cliche, but they say you take it one game at a time. Today is really the test case for that, because I know for a fact that they're looking at those Maverick games as 2 huge opportunities.
They have to. When we return, Mike Brown and what he has to say about Keon Ellis. Woo! Also, 11 o'clock, Jason Domas to talk a little Sixers as well. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
They're going to give it. No, it's a play action. Purdy going to roll left, throw for the end zone. Caught by George Kittle. He has the hat trick tonight, a career high. 3 touchdown catches for George. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
This March, Wendy's has some amazing deals on their hamburgers made with fresh, never frozen beef.
Like a juicy Dave single for $1 and a fresh $2 Dave's double with in-app offer.
It's such a good deal, we wrote a little ditty about it.
Get it for $1. Dave single, order in the app. Dave single, get it for $1. Choose wisely, choose Wendy's official hamburger March Madness.
Limited time offer. Participating U.S. Wendy's. See offer details and redeem at Wendy's app. Account registration required. Fresh beef available only. Particulars U.S. and Alaska.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Dr. Ken Howachek and kinesiologist Kelsey Graham discuss the Good Feet store.
The foot has a lot of detail. It has a lot of complexity. There's a lot that can go wrong. A lot of problems start in the foot and end up elsewhere. Knee pain, hip pain, back pain. When aligning the feet properly, we can see relief elsewhere. And that's the beauty of the Good Feet Arch support. It can place the feet into their ideal position and gives them the balance, the support, the comfort, and the relief of the pain. The bottom line is that the Good Feet Arch support can be a highly effective pain relief solution when nothing else has worked.
The feet have a really big impact on how the rest of the body moves. The knees, the hips, the lower back especially. If the foot isn't properly aligned, all of these joints are going to function incorrectly. That results in a lot of muscle tension and chronic pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that the right arch supports can put the foot in its proper alignment. So all the joints up the rest of the body will be aligned properly as well. And when the body's aligned, we can reduce the risk of injury and chronic pain.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Modesto, Stockton, and Vacaville for a free fitting and test walk.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khdk.com.
Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers. And if you've even thought of replacing your old, outdated, inefficient windows, now is the time to take action.
Right now at Bell Brothers, when you buy one window, you'll get the second one for 30% off. That's right. Buy one, get the second one 30% off.
That's real savings, up to $6,000. You have to buy at least 4 windows to qualify, and you can't mix windows and doors. But beyond that, every second window is 30% off.
For example, when you buy 10 windows, you will get 5 windows at 30% off. We also have 0% interest financing available for qualified buyers. Call for details.
To take advantage of our buy one, get one 30% off sale, call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Live and local, it's Stiles and Watkins. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Keon Ellis. By the way, from Will Z Stats, Keon leads all Kings rotational players with a 65 2-point field goal percentage. And he's getting it done everywhere inside the arc. I mean, we keep asking the question, Chris, is he just going to be 3-and-D? He was showing some things against the Magic. He's got a little bag. That step back, I think it ended up being a long 2.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah. No, he's hit a couple hit a couple like contested threes. You mentioned the shot in the paint where it was that little one-handed push shot where he kind of pirouetted a bit.
Yeah, a little dipsy do.
Yeah, and you're seeing a little bit of a bag here out of Keon. So it'll be interesting to see just how comfortable and how often he can do things like that, because that is not what we were told Keon Ellis was. And so if he's going to provide stuff like that, and I think he had 6 assists as well on Saturday, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. what else can you ask for? A guy who's getting 2 steals, hitting 4 threes, and then also providing some assists and rebounds. That's all you want and more.
Yeah, that's exactly what you need, especially with Kevin Huerter out and Trey Lyles out. You're just looking for guys that could step up. It is that time of the season. Let's hear from Coach Mike Brown and what he had to say about Keon defensively and just in general.
Keon was huge. He was freaking phenomenal. He got the defensive player of the game tonight. His deflections are just crazy. People watch him, and I think they pick up some things in terms of body positioning and stuff like that, because the deflections he's getting, they're all position deflections. When he gets a deflection or he gets a steal, it's not like he's out of the play because he misses it, and the opponents have a 5-1-4 advantage. So his positioning for a young guy is extraordinary. But just watching how he readies himself to be in position to get a deflection is something that we all learn from every time he's out on the floor.
It's just incredible, right? For as a second-year guy to have the knack. We talk about knacks, right? Knack for rebounding, obviously offensively. Well, Keon's got it defensively, and it's something that the Kings have not had. And I'm starting to notice, Chris, you talk about different brands and building a defensive brand. You're seeing national outlets talk about Keon Ellis. You're seeing national outlets talk about how he could become an elite defender. And I do think that matters. You get the benefit of the doubt more, right? I mean, Draymond Green, when he does certain things, OG Anunoby, I've talked about over and over again, how sometimes you think, oh, that was a little handsy, but defensive guy, so you'll get the benefit of the doubt. That is what Keon Ellis is building, and I don't think that's something that the Kings had in the playoffs last season or in years prior to this season.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just crazy to hear Mike Brown yet again talk about Keon in that light, like where you can again hear him saying, like, I this is special, like just trying to remind us that this is not something that you see often in this game. Is just this guy at this incredibly high level defensively, this young in his career, or this early in his career. And the crazy thing is too, I think again, it ties into, I believe it was Whitey's question to De'Aaron Fox of, is Keon Ellis's defense something that is tangible? Like, can you feel it and can you build off of it yourself? And Mike Brown's talking about it there, like, you know, guys taking notes, guys who have been in this league or on this team for a long time, looking at Keon do what he does and say, oh, that's how you do it. Oh, that's what coaches always talk. Oh, I never even thought of positioning myself there to put myself in that situation. That's crazy. Like, that is special. And that's again, where I don't know if it's just Mike Brown hyping his guy up, but I believe it after it matches the eye test, and just watching Keon do what he's done for these past 2 weeks has truly been just amazing. And I do hope that, you know, you do see a massive shift of this team. We've already seen it with the numbers, but hopefully you talk about brands. It's the same, different word for identity. Hopefully it starts to become more and more a part of just the Kings' identity, not something they do. It's just a fabric of who they are as a team.
The Kings, the last 7 games, have the second best defensive rating.
That's
and
insane,
this is all since they're third in net rating. Okay, they're 5-2, all since Keon has become a main contributor. And I don't think that it's fair to have the conversation of, well, what if they had him all season? I think I'm also not a everything happens for a reason guy. I think some things happen for a reason, and maybe this is part of that. Maybe the way everything was supposed to happen is how it happened. And not to say that about Kevin Huerter getting injured, but Keon getting a little taste early on, right? And we can sit here and say, hey, this may have happened anyway, right? There were already rumblings happening, and with the injury to Kevin Huerter, it avoided a very tough decision, and it avoided a awkward situation for the Kings. Now, I saw something on NBC Sports California talking about the Kings, and they spoke with I think a Stanford doctor that said Kevin Huerter we don't know, but he could be back before the season ends. If that happens, things will be very interesting, but we will cross that bridge when we get there. But ultimately, I think the way Keon has stayed ready throughout the season, the way the Kings have been able to kind of roll him out and get surprised. I don't think they expected this from Keon Ellis.
Yeah.
And we've even heard them say, I knew he was a good defender. I didn't know he was all this. And albeit in a loss to the Wizards, that was still a learning experience for Keon. And did I like the fact that Coach Mike Brown essentially benched him? No, not really. But what the heck do I know when the next game he comes out and he has a career high?
Right.
So the way that they've gotten to where they're at now has been anything but smooth sailing. It's been a roller coaster. But now Keon Ellis against a very good defensive team in the Magic, to where it's you have to shoot. And you know what's going to happen if you don't. I will pull you and try to find offense somewhere else. And Keon said, don't worry, I got you. And he did.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And again, it's huge that he has that game when they needed it the most. Malik Monk has 0 points, and they don't win that game if Keon doesn't have the game that he had. If he didn't hit the shots that he hit, we probably are talking about how, oh my God, here's the Kings. They can't win another game where they can't find guys to hit shots, or they don't have a third reliable scorer on the night. And so they weren't able to get the win. Instead, Keon Ellis just stepped up, hit some really tough shots that I don't think anybody thought he could make. And now here we sit here after the Kings win talking, is there maybe more even that we can see from Keon? So it's a huge performance. And I think it's going to be one that really, I think we're going to look back on that game and say that was the Keon Ellis game. If next year Keon Ellis is a huge contributor to the rotation, like it seems like he's trending to, we're going to say, hey, do you remember that game in Orlando last year where he hit that step back and had he did it all? That was the first game where I realized, whoa, this guy could be what we're seeing here today. So I do think that Saturday was a bit of a watershed moment of like, wow, I think this guy might be more than just the simple 3-and-D that we tried to label him as.
Yeah. And, momentum is a conversation that comes up a lot, and you know how it feels offensively, but defensively doesn't get talked about as much. And clearly the Kings have created some form of defensive momentum, and that is in large part due to Keon Ellis. Real quick, what did you think about there was a lot of conversation, and the 2-minute report came out, said that they made the right call. What did you think about the De'Aaron Fox push? And he was just tiptoeing and couldn't stay afloat. What did you think about that play?
It was a foul. It was definitely a foul. But like I said earlier, I just think that they called it late. Like I didn't quite understand. It just calls into question, are you calling it because it's a foul, or are you calling it because of the result that happened? And we don't just see it in a situation like that. It happens more so often with and ones where people will go up and you miss the shot and then the whistle comes. And it's like, okay, well, it's either a foul or it's not. It shouldn't matter if it goes in, oh, clearly it didn't affect you that much because you still made the shot.
Makes no sense.
Versus, oh, clearly the contact was enough to where it impacted how you shot, and you probably would have made it if it wasn't a foul. So it was kind of one of those moments where just blow the whistle when the contact happened, not once De'Aaron falls back court, because it just opens up the speculation for people to say, well, see, this is clearly the NBA fixing results to how they want it to be fixed. And it just leads to a bad look. So it's kind of like the 2-minute report, but it's just worse because, it's just such a blatant example for those tinfoil people out there to say, look, he only called that because it went in that direction.
I really would love to just talk to a ref and ask them about that and one thing, and just ask the question, are you saying that this foul was a foul, but not a bad enough foul to be worthy of an and one?
Right.
And conversely, if they miss, I don't understand how Adam Silver just lets them do that.
It's really strange. And it's so blatant too, because they'll blow the whistle like after the guy celebrated, the ball's already hit the ground after again, it's black and white. It either is a foul when the foul occurs, or it is not a foul, and it shouldn't matter what the result happens. So it was a really weird moment, but it definitely did spark that thought in my head of, even though it went in the Kings' favor, I was like, you probably should have blown the whistle when the foul happened, because it looked really strange, and it was a foul. He definitely got both of his hands on his hip, and De'Aaron was already kind of skating on the line, but that little extra shove put him over the line. So it was a weird moment, and I understand why the Magic kind of went crazy after, but for the most part, I mean, that's unfortunately the game.
Yeah. At that point in the game, it's really tough. If that happens in the first quarter,
much to do
fine,
about nothing.
But it happens when it happened in crunch time, and everybody has something to say. But luckily, the Kings were able to overcome it and get the W. When we return, we will be joined by sports director for Cron 4, Jason Domas, and Philly native to talk some Sixers hoops. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com.
It's time to trade in and trade up at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com. It's all a click away.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Claim based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own one report.
Jiffy Lube has a special promotion going on right now. Simply purchase a Pennzoil Platinum full synthetic oil change at Jiffy Lube and receive a $25 e-gift card from popular brands for food, gas, and more. It's that easy. Simply purchase a Pennzoil Platinum full synthetic oil change and receive a $25 e-gift card. So basically, going to Jiffy Lube can get you a free lunch or a pizza for dinner. That's what we call added value for the consumer. That's why Jiffy Lube is #1 in the greater Sacramento area for oil changes. Visit JiffyLube.com for more details and valuable coupons today.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Discover your dream home at Subcontractors United, your source for all home improvement needs. A talented team of home services experts is ready to make your projects a breeze. No more endless internet searches. Find your contractors in one place. Enjoy stress-free service absolutely free, with no hidden costs and no account to set up. Transform your living space into something extraordinary. Visit Subcontractors United today and experience the joy of hassle-free home improvement. Dream big at SubcontractorsUnited.com.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install a new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTK-AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sactown Sports.
Sacramento has a new tag team in the midday. It's Stiles and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
We are about to be joined by sports director for Cron 4, Jason Dumas, and he's here right now. Let's get to Jason. Jason Dumas, thank you for joining us, my guy.
What's going on?
Not too much, man. Talking to Jason Dumas of Cron 4, new sports director, Cron 4. But he's a Philly guy, and he's broken some stories, not just on the basketball side of things, also for the Eagles, Saquon Barkley, and with the 76ers. So wanted to get your take on all things Sixers basketball. Jason, let's start here with Joel Embiid. Any update on the timeline and what the Sixers are hoping for to close the season?
Well, they've been very vague on his injury, the specific details of the injury, his timeline to return. But that's the Sixers' MO, especially when it comes to Joel Embiid. Whenever he gets hurt, they're not very transparent. I don't know if that's intentional or if it's the wishes of Joel Embiid. Just transparency has never been the Sixers thing when it comes to injuries with that guy and keeping people in the know. But with that being said, everything I've been told is that his goal is to return before the end of the regular season. There's only about 3 weeks left. So probably in about 2 weeks, get back on the court and, try to catch a rhythm before the end of the regular season and then go into that, whether they're in the play-in or that last 6th seed or 5th seed, have some momentum going into that series.
Jason, Kings fans are always interested in former Kings, and the Sixers have since the trade deadline acquired old friend Buddy Hield, who's now played 21 games for the Sixers. How has he done with Philadelphia so far? I know it kind of makes a lot more sense to have Buddy on the team with Joel out there, and I don't believe he's had a game to play with Joel. But how has the Buddy Hield experience gone for the Sixers so far this season?
Yeah, you kind of hit the nail on the head. I mean, he's someone who is going to be impacted for the better when Joel Embiid comes back, probably more than anyone on that roster. They need floor spacers, and obviously Joel draws so much attention. He gets people so many open looks. I mean, he was probably the MVP frontrunner before he got hurt. He was playing so well. So Buddy, he's been okay. He hasn't been great, if we're being honest. But like I said, I think when Joel comes back, even if it's next season, he's probably going to come back this season, but who knows if he's ever going to get back to the playing form that he was at before the injury. But even if it's for next season, I think it'll be a good fit for Buddy. But right now, he's definitely still feeling his way, and he hasn't been great. There's no other way to say it.
Talking to Jason Domas, sports director for Cron 4 News out there in the Bay Area. Philly native, knows his Philly sports, of course. Jason, what about Malik Monk and the interest level? He's going to be a free agent, and Kings fans are a bit worried. Just played the Orlando Magic, who is a name that the Kings are looking out for as far as interest with Malik Monk. Do you think the Sixers pairing him up with Tyrese Maxey, do you think that's something that Kings fans should be on the lookout for? Any interest there?
You know what? Malik Monk is one of those guys who you can really drop him anywhere and he's going to do his thing because, he doesn't need plays run for him specifically. And at the worst, he's just a volume bench scorer, 6-man right off the bench. Every team could use that. So honestly, I think the Warriors, I think the Kings should be worried about any team really, any team that has some cap space, and the Sixers are going to have a whole lot of cap space with Tobias Harris coming off the books. Definitely think, the Sixers could be a team that gives him a look. But like I said, there's going to be a lot of teams willing to pay him a lot of money. So Sacramento should open that checkbook if they want to keep him. But somebody's going to probably, if we're just being honest, someone's probably going to overpay him.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I mean, Philly's definitely one of the teams that is scary because they have, real playoff contenders, or at least are going to try and be real playoff contenders moving forward. And a big part of that with the Malik fit is going to be Tyrese Maxey and him playing next to Maxey. And, a big talking point from last year with the Sixers was, his fit next to James Harden and, should Maxey really step up as this number 2 option and how hard it was with Harden out there. What really feels like the future for Tyrese Maxey in Philly? Is he kind of the guy who is going to be maybe the next one up for them? Is he, because Joel's injury history obviously shows that he might not be a guy to be relied on. Is there hope that Tyrese Maxey could maybe step up and potentially be a number one scoring option for this team moving forward?
Yeah, well, they love Tyrese, both the front office and the fan base. But I think the way Daryl Morey operates, he definitely wants another big name. Like the whole Paul George rumors, if he doesn't stay, that Philly will go hard after him. Those are true, and that's Daryl Morey's MO. So to answer your question, one, yes, I think they love Tyrese Maxey and they have the utmost confidence in him. But I also think the way Daryl Morey operates, he wants like three superstars on one roster. So obviously you got Embiid, who's a bona fide superstar. You got Max, who is coming into his own. I don't know if I consider him a superstar, but I mean he's averaging almost 26 points per game. That's really good.
Yeah.
And then like, maybe somebody like a Paul George. I know they're going to be aggressive. They're going to try to bring in another big name. They really, really want to build this team up into a championship contender, and they've been right there the last couple years. I mean, they absolutely choked away that series against Boston. They should have won it. But that's the thing, and I said this to someone the other day. I think this could be a year where the Sixers sneak up on people, because if Joel Embiid comes back and he even gets to like 75% of Joel Embiid, let's just say they're like the 6 or the 7 seed when all the dust settles, they're not going to have much pressure on them. They'll probably play looser. Like, hey, we're like the 6th seed. Our best player was hurt all year. Like, we're playing with house money at this point. I think that might allow them to play better, because the last couple years, I just think the moment has been too big for them. They have shrunk in those huge moments. They've been favored to win some of these series, and I think that kind of got to them. I think playing in a situation where no one expects them to win and kind of just happy to be there and see Joel on the court healthy again, I actually think that could help them out.
Talking to Jason Domas, Cron for News Sports Director. Jason, before we get you out of here, you also do local radio out there in the Bay Area, talking Warriors. Man, last night or yesterday, there was a lot of drama with Steph's minutes and Steve Kerr saying, oh, well, I don't think that's why we lost. And Draymond saying he's not worried about the Rockets. Well, you should be. What is going on out there in the Bay with the Warriors? Do you think they're cooked? And where do they go from here?
Man, they're exactly what their record is. They're just a mediocre team. Some nights they're going to look good, and some nights it might give you some faith that, hey, maybe they can put a stretch together where they play really good basketball and win a couple playoff series, and then they'll have a stretch like they're in right now, really, where it's like, okay, they're just simply not better than the Timberwolves. They're simply not better than the Pacers. They're simply not better than the Knicks. Like, it's a boring answer, but it is what it is. They're just a mediocre team. Mm-hmm. And I said this last night on Cron to one of my co-hosts. I think missing out on the play-in completely and letting the Rockets catch them might be better for them in the long-term picture, because I think it might actually force Joe Lacob to make some really tough decisions because of the embarrassment of having this expensive team paying so much luxury tax and not even making the play-in round. I think that would probably force Joe Lacob to be impulsive this summer, because, I mean, that's really not acceptable when you're paying this tab. But, guys, it's also what you kind of see at the end of all these dynasties. They have so many expensive players because these guys have expensive resumes. Like, I mean, Klay Thompson's making so much money because he helped them win 4 championships. Same with Draymond Green. Steph Curry, I mean, he's still playing at a level that is acceptable to be paid what he is. But, like, Klay Thompson, he's not. We know that. And he's going to be a free agent. And what are you going to do with him? Draymond Green, he's still a pretty effective player, especially defensively, but, like, making a lot of money. And now he's having these back issues again. Kevon Looney's making a nice little piece of change. Even guys like GP2 and Wiggins, who's not playing up to his standards. So it's like, you just got to figure out what you want to do. Do you want to keep paying these guys all this money that probably won't be performing up to those standards. If you do, you're probably going to be a team that muddles around 500 all year and, might get a favorable matchup in the first round and make some noise and like kind of remind you of the glory years. But then, they'll probably round back out to the mean of what they are, just an average team, and lose to a good team in the second round. It's exactly what happened last year. They got a favorable matchup against the Kings team that hasn't experienced that in a long time. And at the end of the day, the vets kind of just really, Steph Curry was like, you know what? We're not going out to the Kings. And then they matched up with the Lakers, who were just better than them, point blank period. So that's what the Warriors are right now. They're an average team that can get hot and maybe win a round or two, but they're not good enough to play consistently enough to win a championship. And that's really the standard around here. So if you're not doing that, you got to figure out something, right?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think the Warriors should just come up off of Jonathan Kuminga, send him out here to Sacramento, and really just make some sense of the whole thing. Jason Domas, Cron 4 News sports director. Also, you can catch him with the Santa Cruz Warriors sideline reporting at 95.7 The Game as well. Jason, thank you as always. We will talk to you soon.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me on.
The main thing, Chris, as we discuss the future of all these teams, that Malik Monk piece, I forgot about Tobias Harris coming off the books and how ridiculous.
Yeah. His contract is ridiculous.
I mean, it's insane.
It's insane.
So if you're and if you're just now joining us, just talk to Jason Dumas, Cron 4 News. He's also just a do-it-all reporter. You've seen him break stories for the Sixers and the Warriors. And bringing up Paul George, so you go get Paul George. Now, if that's a team with Joel Embiid, Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, and you can still cash out Malik Monk, I'll be a sixth man on that team.
I'm not sure if they could at that point. I don't think they'll have that much money to sign both of them, but that's what Daryl's going to do. I mean, he's going to try his everything to make it happen. It's a really scary situation. I mean, the Sixers, who it's not hard to try and convince somebody, hey, come to this big market in Philadelphia. You got a big man who's MVP ready. You've got this young guard. It's all set up there. So it's going to be a tough thing to try and battle against, but it's why in Anthony Slater's article, I think that's why the last part in there is, depending on how well the Kings do, I mean, I might not need to look, but if the Kings are getting eliminated in the play-in or in the first round, and some of my other options are a young Orlando team that maybe makes the second round, or a Philadelphia team, as Dumas lays out there, like maybe Joel comes back, maybe they surprise a team, maybe they get to the second round, maybe they get to the conference finals, then it becomes that negotiation period becomes a lot tougher when you say, hey, Malik, come off the bench for us, make less money, and you're not going to be in a big market where, you could be in Florida, you can have a starting job, you can be on a top 4 team, or you can go to Philadelphia, you can be in a big market with some big stars, and you can maybe try and win a championship. That's tough to try and negotiate against. But that's what the Kings are facing right now.
That's what it is, and that's why, bringing it back to tonight's game, this stretch is so very important for the Kings.
Don't have zero tonight, Malik, please.
Don't have zero tonight.
You already showed everybody what you can maybe do. So let's go back to old Malik.
Definitely going to need something from Malik Monk. Also going to need Keegan Murray to stay hot. We will discuss Keegan's comeback game as he was near perfect from the three-point line. That and more when we return. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
What's the missing piece for the 49ers?
Which names will they add during free agency? Whether it's in season or off season, the coverage never stops. Get the latest 49ers news on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
It's Coach Doug Christie here to remind you, if you want a deal that's a slam dunk, go see the winning team at Folsom Lake Ford. Folsom Lake Ford is your truck headquarters with all your American-made favorites, like America's best-selling F-Series, F-150s, and Super Duties, or spacious new Explorers and Expeditions, plus a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports, all in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford, right here in Sacramento. You can buy any new Ford with zero down on approved credit, save big with low interest finance rates, And Folsom Lake Ford always pays top dollar for your trade. Check out the huge selection of inventory online at folsomlakeford.com or stop by the dealership to see their most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. They'll help you out. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 35 years and counting.
Sacramento has a new tag team in the midday. It's Stiles and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Thanks again to Jason Domas of Cron 4 News, sports director. And we will get to all of the Kings' possibilities tonight against the Sixers. But we do have a story that's developing with Brandon Ayuk and the Niners. So this is from February 28th. So this is Chase Sr. of Chat Sports, February 28th. Source: the 49ers have no plans of trading Brandon Ayuk and want to sign him to a long-term deal. He goes on to say that Ayuk's agent is Ryan Williams of Athletes First, who is the best friend of John Lynch. Lynch was the best man in Williams' wedding. Wow. Right. And I guess Chase was told no way Ayuk leaves. So at the owners' meeting, John Lynch spoke about Brandon Ayuk and is saying that they are actively engaging in talks with Brandon Ayuk on a contract extension, and any reports of trade talks are false.
First off, would you think that being best friends with your agent, being best friends with your GM is a overall positive or an overall negative?
It depends.
That's kind of tough.
If you cut hair, what is everybody asking you for? Your boy.
Yeah.
A discount.
Free cut. Yeah.
A discount.
Yeah. Right.
So
it's all
seems like a conflict of interest to me.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a bad combination.
Yeah, not the combination that you're hoping for. And now Brandon Ayuk goes on social media. These Niners receivers, and so somebody take their phones away. Insane. So he basically has all emojis because that's what the kids do.
That's what the kids do.
And Chris actually deciphered this like Legend of the Hidden Temple before and it was
please give us that
yes,
pregame.
Chris. Please.
Okay, so just for all the investigators out there who want to do it themselves, Brandon Ayuk on his Instagram story posts just some wood building he's in, and it's just a $sign, the emoji of somebody yelling,
right?
The cow emoji, the poop emoji, and then somebody walking emoji, and that's it. That's it. So I'm reading that as money, $sign, talks, bull crap walks.
That sounds pretty straight on to me.
That's what I'm reading it as. So I would take this as Brandon Ayuk doesn't care about these rumors. He does not care about the sources. He doesn't care. He's saying, if y'all want me here, you will pay me.
Yes.
And if you don't want me here, you're going to keep playing games and you're going to keep saying we have every intention to keep him. He's going to play on his 5th-year option. We're going to take care of him. Don't worry. He's like, that's great. You can say all that all you want, but we've seen that the NFL can be a cutthroat business, and it's what have you done for me lately, and what will you do for me tomorrow? And the second that they feel like Brandon Ayuk is not in their future plans, they will let go of him. So that's pretty much what he's saying. He's like, either pay me or eject Osito. And that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, and I saw this by Ethan Strauss, and as we've had conversations, Chris, about where Brandon Ayuk falls as far as wide receivers, I thought this was literally you explaining how you feel about Brandon Ayuk as a wide receiver. This is from Ethan Strauss. Fascinated by the Ayuk decision facing the Niners. How much do you value a wide receiver who operates with incredible precision, always catches passes he should, but doesn't alter the opponent's game plan?
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what I was saying. What was that, like a month or so ago? Just like he's good. I mean, like the numbers don't lie. This season he was Brock Purdy's best weapon, was fantastic. But I mean, you see guys like Justin Jefferson, AJ Brown. You see Amon-Ra St. Brown. Even there's so many great receivers in this league that you could say are quarterback dependent, but it just never felt like Ayuk was. I don't want to say making plays because he absolutely was, but there's just a different level to it. Like he's like the ultimate possession receiver, but not getting a lot of those superstar moments. You don't get a lot of extra stuff from him. I'm not saying not getting the yards after catch, but like the spectacular plays.
The Lions
really
game. The fluke to Ayuk.
Okay, sure. But he's
I just know somebody's going to say that.
I just mean more like, he's not juking people. He's not breaking tackle. Like, there's spectacular moments. Yes, he's a great possession receiver. He's great at catching the football. But in terms of making the plays after, that's really where those guys make their elite money. And I just didn't see that out of Ayuk. And again, this is 1 year of 1,000-yard production. There's guys who have done this every year of their career. So it's just a tough dilemma. I'm not saying Ayuk's bad, but I'm just saying if you're talking about paying Ayuk the top 10 receiver money, again, especially with how much talent there just is at that position, I don't know if that's the best value proposition.
We have this conversation all the time with quarterbacks and weapons and Brock Purdy. He's got too many weapons. He's got this, he's got that. We don't often have this conversation about the weapons themselves and how would Brandon Ayuk look as the featured wide receiver without George Kittle, without Debo, without Christian McCaffrey. Maybe I'm sure in Ayuk's mind, he would say, I would look like a stud. I would look like a legit number one. I don't know that. I don't know
all
that he
the
would.
attention, all the pressure on him.
I don't know that he would.
I don't know if he would either.
Let's say you have a wide receiver core, okay, and the tight end just give you a top 15, 20 tight end.
Yeah, Hayden Hurst.
Yes, somebody like that. If Ayuk and T. Higgins are your two wide receivers, do you call that an elite wide receiver room?
No, it's a good one. It's probably solid.
It's right there.
Yeah.
It's right there.
I think the narrative would be you have two number twos.
Yes.
I don't think anyone would say it's almost like, I think Ayuk is better than homeboy in Jacksonville that got paid Christian Kirk. But I think it's really kind of I think it would be the same narrative of like, I like the guy. I like him a lot. He can do some things, but if you're talking about putting him number one receiver, that's just a different task.
Right. We have a system around him. I never heard system wide receiver before, but we have a system that Brandon Ayuk is, because he's a technician.
Yeah.
He runs very crisp routes and timing is always there.
Yeah.
And he makes the catches when he needs to, which is great for a Brock Purdy. But as far as that game changer, he believes he's being held back, I believe, by the Niners and the fact that you're a run first team, things like that. That's the other part of this. How much are the Niners now evolving from a run first offense? Because how can you have one of the most expensive wide receiver rooms in the NFL for a run first offense? That makes no sense to me.
Yeah. It's a good point. No, right. I would think that if you're going to be a run first offense, spend all your money on offensive line. And that's not been, they're spending a lot of their money on skill position players, which is great. It's flashy, but a lot of teams would argue the trenches is where you win the game. So that should really be probably where they're spending a lot of their money. $50 million on receivers. You've got to have two number ones, two number one A's. And I don't know if, honestly, I don't know if either of those guys at this point are number one A's. They're both great, but I don't know if they're to the level of being excellent.
We will keep you in the loop on all things Brandon Ayuk and all things Instagram with his emojis and things like that. When we return, you've just played the Magic, and now the Sack Chat is throwing around some trade ideas.
My goodness.
I don't think anything's going to happen, but we will discuss what is being talked about in the Sack Chat. Also, Keegan Murray. Is he back? Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
Hi, everyone. It's Emran Pilati, the host of the True Sports Card Show here on Sactown Sports 1140, Saturdays at 10 a.m. I'm excited about our second location at the Roseville Galleria as True Sports Cards continues our expansion. And to celebrate this day, we're excited to announce that Kevin Herter from the Sacramento Kings will be signing autographs on March 30th at 3 p.m. You can get your tickets for this event right now by going to TrueSportsCards.com, searching Kevin Herter in the search bar, and buying your ticket. Limited tickets are available, so please go to the website, TrueSportsCards.com, and get your Kevin Herter tickets right now.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Fidium Fiber, Dawson Oil Company, and Good Guys Heating and Cooling.
It's time to trade in and trade up at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com. It's all a click away.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own loan report.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Hey guys, do you know your T-level? Revive Men's Health here in Sacramento is helping you take that first step toward better health and enhanced intimacy with a free testosterone level test, exam, and consultation. Plus, for this month only, qualified patients can kickstart their treatment with a free supply of ED medication. Call Revive Men's Health Sacramento at 916-365-4566. That's 916-365-4566. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
Some wishful thinking from Kings fans on the Sac Chat. And they are discussing Paolo Banchero. and how good he is. And I'm just seeing, as I'm just kind of going through, there's a conversation going on about Monk for Banchero in a trade. First of all, Malik is going to be a free agent, so that is...
You can do a sign and trade.
Yes, a sign and trade, but Paolo Banchero is not going anywhere.
You couldn't even do that in like fantasy basketball.
Yeah. Well, look, even if
I don't even know if
to,
it's worth.
Even if, okay, let's just do the exercise. Paolo Banchero just by himself, because everyone says that's the piece that the Kings. That's the piece that every team is missing. You're going to have to
trade Malik and Keegan and probably a first-round pick for Paolo Banchero, at least.
Malik Keegan.
Yes.
At least
the number 4 pick in the same draft Paolo was taken, plus Malik Monk, who you're really, I mean, yeah, yes. It would take a lot.
It would take a lot.
And honestly, even then, Orlando's probably still going to say, no, I think we're good where we're at. Like there's no situation. There's no situation in which Orlando's saying yes ever.
There are people saying.
I thought maybe it was going to go like Jonathan Isaac. Yeah,
no,
maybe if there's
that's no fun. That's
makes
no fun.
Sense.
I know it makes sense, but you got to go for gold. I do appreciate Kings fans trying to
go for gold, but you're going to go broke.
Well,
there's a 0% chance that trade is happening.
The Pawn Stars are going to say the best I can do for you is Jonathan Isaac. That's all. And I would take that. I would take that too.
I mean, if he's gone anyway, if Malik's going anyway, absolutely.
I think Paolo Banchero gets compared to so many different guys, and LeBron has been part of that list. Yeah. A lot of these bigger dudes that can handle the rock. Paolo Banchero could be generational.
Yes. Yes, and he is massive.
You are not. Look, the Magic. I know they're in Florida. They got Disney World. They suffer from the same issue. They lost their big guys. They've lost Shaquille O'Neal. Yeah. They've lost the Dwight Howard. They've lost guys before. Yeah. So small market to small market, they're not going to do that because they finally have a guy. Mm-hmm. They have the same issue as Sacramento does. Yeah. I know they have Disney World, but you could argue which is a bigger market, to be completely honest with you.
Absolutely.
I think Sacramento fans and the appetite for Sacramento for basketball and the NBA much stronger in Sacramento than Orlando. So they're in the same position as we are. They're not going to hand over somebody that they finally hit on. But I appreciate the wishful thinking. That's what the summer is all about. We're not at the summer yet, but that's what it's all about. 916-339-1140. Let's get out to Patrick, who wants to be part of the conversation. What's up, Patrick? What you got? Banchero, who you got? You got some NFL talk? What you got for us?
Yeah, so I guess I just looked. I've been keeping up with social media, and I saw the recent most Brandon Ayuk Instagram post. Mm-hmm. So I'm just thinking right now, like, what do you guys think that means?
Yeah, we just, thanks for the call, Patrick. We just kind of chatted about that. How I'm reading it is the Niners are saying, and again, it was money talks, bull crap walks, essentially in all emojis. And how I'm taking it, I believe how Chris is taking it, is the Niners are saying the right things. We are in the middle of a contract negotiation, but until I see an offer that I think shows how much they care about me and are investing in me, it's just that. It's just talk.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. It's I would read that exactly as that. And he's not going to take a discount. There will be, he wants to feel valued, and he sees, guys getting paid left and right. He sees Bosa getting paid. He sees, Deebo Samuel got paid last offseason, and he's like, where is mine? Because I see that Brock Purdy contract on the horizon as well. Yep. And I know if I ask for my money then, it might not be there. So I'm here to get my money now, and we'll figure the rest out later.
And not only is he seeing the Brock Purdy contract coming down the line, the Niners are also seeing Brock Purdy contract coming down the line. So, yeah, it sounds like John Lynch has said during the owners' meeting that as of right now, Brandon Ayuk is not available for trade.
That's right.
If these contract negotiations don't go as planned, anything can happen. But as far as what they would like, they would like to retain Brandon Ayuk. And, you talk about the relationships. One of the best relationships that Brandon Ayuk has, or that Brock Purdy has, is with Brandon Ayuk. 916-339-1140. Let's get out to Patrick, who wants to be a part of the conversation. What's up, Patrick? Okay. Or did we just talk to? Yeah, we just talked to Patrick. What's up, Patrick?
Yeah. What about a 20 and a 50 draft pick for Ayuk?
20 and a 50. So the 20th pick in the draft, and then the 50th pick. So 2 picks.
Second round
for Ayuk.
A first and a second round pick. Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
I think you'd have to do that.
Yeah.
Four first and second round picks.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you'd have to do that. As of right now, the Niners are saying the right things. They are saying, "Hey, he's not available. We're gonna continue to operate in good faith." But yeah, I think you'd have to say that. Thanks for the call, Patrick. And part 2 of
that's right,
Patrick.
I think you would have to say yes.
You'd have to say yes, but
that's ridiculous.
I don't think they're going to get that.
I don't either. That would be a lot. A first and a second round pick is, I mean, that's pretty significant draft capital. And 20 and 50, those are 2 really valuable picks. And you could definitely take a receiver. You can maybe bolster up another position spot as well. I think if that's being offered, I think the Niners absolutely would have to take it again, just especially with the amount of receiver talent that's entered the drafts these past couple of years. You got to feel like you can maybe get some of the production of Ayuk, but the pay difference is really what's going to do you the most favors in that situation. So, I mean, if that's being offered, for sure, I would take it.
I think that would be not a dream scenario for the Niners, because you don't want to lose Ayuk, but
it's a nice consolation.
It's a nice consolation, and just like every single season, it feels like great wide receiver class, and another one is coming this season as well, depending on who you're into. They're the highlighted names, the premier names, Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors, and they have some other guys too that can do some things. So we will continue to keep you up to date on Brandon Ayuk and the status of his contract negotiations. Also, Shohei Ohtani will be addressing the media
allegedly.
At some point.
Allegedly.
Yes.
Sprinkle some allegedly on there.
We'll be addressing the media and the masses at some point today. So when that happens, we will give you an update on what he has to say. Everybody, of course, was joking. Who's the translator?
Yes.
He already has a new translator. Did you see the picture that went viral over the weekend, how Ohtani hits after Mookie Betts?
No.
So they were standing next to each other because Mookie Betts is obviously on deck, and then Ohtani is behind him. So it read left to right, Ohtani Betts. And it just...
That's incredible.
Yes, it was.
You don't get better
everywhere.
than that. You don't get better than that. I'm sorry, Grady Dick. You don't get better jersey pictures than that. That is A-tier level stuff right there.
Exactly. So we will definitely have that update for you when we hear something. But yeah, back to Paolo Banchero and how ridiculous he is. I don't even know where you begin.
Yeah, I mean, the craziest thing about him is, I mean, I remember the first day I laid eyes on him in person was last year during Summer League. And he, at that point, before he'd even played a single NBA game, I was like, this dude is going to dominate. Because he's a legitimate 6'10", like 225. He's a tank. Mark Jones said it on the broadcast. TV does not do him justice. Until you see him in person and you realize, I think this kid's 19 years old.
Yeah.
You're like, he's already physically bigger and stronger than everybody. By the time he's 27, I have no idea what he's going to be. He's going to be able to get to all of his spots. His 3-point shot is still developing. I kind of view him as like a hybrid of like, and this is insane. How about this for a draft comp? He's like a combination of LeBron and Carmelo almost. Where he's got that mid-range shooting ability. He is a scorer. Like at the end of the day, he's not really like LeBron in that fashion where, LeBron is obviously setting up teammates, getting triple doubles.
He's trying.
He's getting there. Yeah. I think because he's got the body for it. That's where the LeBron piece comes in, where nobody can stop him. If he's just going to get a full head of steam and run at the rim, nobody's going to be able to get in front of him with his pace and his size. So he's a dude who, again, the Magic are not letting him go anytime soon because his future is about as bright as it gets.
And this is from the 916 to what you're talking about, Chris. 916 says they wouldn't take Fox for Paolo. That's honestly what we're talking about.
No,
here.
They wouldn't.
We're not talking about some mixture of Malik Monk and some picks and whatever you can kind of dredge up for Banchero. No, you're talking franchise for franchise.
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
what you're talking
That's
about.
where the conversation starts.
That's where the conversation starts.
Because you're not getting, he's 19 years old or 20 years old. I don't even know what he is, but you're not getting a younger prospect with as much upside as Paolo Banchero. And it really does feel like, you mentioned he was, 1 of 7 on Saturday?
Yeah.
But then when we saw him earlier,
he was cooking.
The second that 3-point shot starts falling, we literally saw what he's going to be capable of. That was a 43-point game earlier this year. I think it's going to be light. I think he's going to be a 30-point per game scorer if scoring keeps going up like how it has.
The problem with the deal is both teams need what they would be trying to move, right? The Kings could really use a guy like Paolo who can't, and the Magic could really use a point guard like De'Aaron, but on top of what they have.
Exactly.
You're not going to get anywhere. I think it would be great for the Kings to get Paolo Banchero, but if you're giving up De'Aaron Fox, Paolo Banchero, Sabonis, I mean, you better hope that well, you keep.
You thought
Malik.
your shooting was bad then.
I mean, you keep Malik and maybe Keegan Murray continues to improve, but that's still not enough.
Not enough.
It's still not enough, and it's not
you're
enough
at the same spot
on the other side for the Magic as well. When we return, continuing the conversation, also going to get into something that the 4-letter station had to say, which was just a little bit much. Stiles Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings 5-game homestand begins tonight against the Philadelphia 76ers. The push for the postseason is here, and every game is critical.
Dribble handoff to Malik. Can he do it again? Pocket pass back to Sabonis. The two-hand hammer. That could be a dagger. It's 115-107. Malik Monk with the assist pass for Domantas Sabonis.
Listen to all the thrilling moments beginning tonight at 7 on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports.
Dr. Ken Howachek and kinesiologist Kelsey Graham discuss the Good Feet store.
The foot has a lot of detail. It has a lot of complexity. There's a lot that can go wrong. A lot of problems start in the foot and end up elsewhere. Knee pain, hip pain, back pain. When aligning the feet properly, we can see relief elsewhere. And that's the beauty of the Good Feet arch support. It can place the feet into their ideal position and gives them the balance, the support, the comfort, and the relief of the pain. The bottom line is that the Good Feet arch support can be a highly effective pain relief solution when nothing else has worked.
The feet have a really big impact on how the rest of the body moves. The knees, the hips, the lower back especially. If the foot isn't properly aligned, all of these joints are going to function incorrectly. That results in a lot of muscle tension and chronic pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that the right arch supports can put the foot in its proper alignment. So all the joints up the rest of the body will be aligned properly as well. And when the body's aligned, we can reduce the risk of injury and chronic pain.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Modesto, Stockton, and Vacaville for a free fitting and test walk.
For a precision-crafted performance, the decision is easy. A new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Get the driving experience you've been waiting for in a new Acura. Get the best selection and customer service you deserve from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or use our online express store at AcuraofStockton.com. Acura of Stockton will buy your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Don't settle for less than precision-crafted performance of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
The Amish have a reputation for craftsmanship, determination, and quality. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. You know, those virtues sound quite similar to the Keys family and the day-to-day values on display at Naturewood. The Amish furniture craftsmanship begins with the finest hardwood, shaping and molding the raw materials into one-of-a-kind art. In addition to the classic styles long sought and revered by discriminating furniture lovers, Naturewood Home Furnishings offers a vast selection that includes transitional, modern, farmhouse, arts and crafts, and other stunning styles, all available in the ultimate Amish standard of excellence built over centuries. All Naturewood Amish furniture is on sale right now for a limited time. Let the Naturewood team guide you through their selection of Amish furniture that will be with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee-owned, our attention to detail is second to none. Put our decades of experience serving our community to use for you. Get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112. Or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice.
Right now, Maida Chevy saves you $8,000 off MSRP on new 2024 half-ton Silverado LT Crew Cab four-wheel drives after rebate. A Maida Chevy exclusive.
See dealer for details. Ends 3/31/24.
See all the savings at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Live and local, it's Stiles and Watkins. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
$12:45 is when Shohei Ohtani will address the media. He will not be taking questions. He will simply address the media, and we will have those updates for you. Also going to have some sound from Vivek talking about bringing baseball, Major League Baseball, to Sacramento. I was out there yesterday. It was a great time. And we will continue the Kings talk, of course, with Keegan Murray figuring it out, Chris, at least 4 games.
Yep.
6 for 7. Is he talk about roller coasters? Does he just get as hot as can be and then as cold as can be? Can we just we're good. It doesn't have to be like this, Keegan. Now I will take the 6 for 7, but we need you. We need you just 3 threes a game. Can we get there?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a tough season for him in general. I think this season's going to be the anomaly of Keegan's career. I mean, he's shooting under 36% from 3 this season. He was a 40% three-point shooter last year. I just think it's been a really, really tough season. I think this is the definition of a quote-unquote sophomore slump. You see Keegan having a big adjustment period. When you're a rookie, you're kind of asked to do 1, maybe 2 things, and you can excel at those 1 or 2 things. But once that second season comes, you're no longer treated like a rookie, and you're going to be asked, like Keegan has this year, to not just be a good help defender. You're going to be asked to guard other teams' best defenders, and that's just what you're going to be asked. There's not going to be any kid gloves or anything handled with kid gloves. So I would just say that, I would not expect this to be the norm for Keegan, but yeah, it's definitely been an up and down season. But at the end of the day, long term, I'm not afraid about his shot. I think he's going to be near 40% the rest of his career every year.
Yeah, and that's exactly what the Kings need, to have multiple 3-and-D guys. And let's not forget, Keegan has definitely been opening his bag and making his bag deeper throughout the whole season, getting to the lane. Chris and I always joke about what De'Aaron Fox said about Keegan being the worst finisher. And every time Keegan makes a layup, I just stare at Chris. I say, I told you.
Yeah, it's only been a couple times.
He is figuring it out. Epic Air on the Sac Chat says, what's the Sasha health status? It's just still questionable.
Yeah.
It's still questionable. And it went from thinking that he was going to play, 2 games ago? Yeah. To now still being questionable. He goes through, I was talking with Frankie Cardicelli yesterday at the game, and he goes through shoot around, he does everything, and then he just doesn't play.
Look, we've talked about it earlier in the season. I can't remember who specifically it was, but the Kings don't give injury updates. They just don't. I mean, it's been a trend all season long. It's been the past couple of years. I don't know what it is. We still do not know. The fact that NBC Sports California gives us a relative timetable before the Kings give us any sort of timetable with Kevin Huerter, I just don't get it, man. I understand that, you don't want your opponents having all of the information on your injured guys, but at the same time, it feels like there does need to be a bit of transparency here when it comes to, hey, can we just is Kevin Huerter 3 to 4 week reevaluation? And even then you give us the 4 to 6 weeks for Sasha. And then I think we're on week 6 right now, and there has been no sense of an update. Maybe one will come later today. Maybe it'll come later in the week, but they've just in general been really bad at giving updates on injuries. So
yeah,
that's my little mini rant.
Well, talking to Jason Domas about the Sixers, it feels like the Sixers aren't great at it either.
Yeah.
And that just always begs the question of when we have these conversations and a lot of things get ranked, right? Holding some of these teams more accountable to say, okay, who's the best at giving injury updates.
Sure,
and I guess PR would be ranking the NBA PR, and maybe somebody does.
I'm sure somebody has.
But I'd feel like it would come across our desks if that were a thing. Let's get to Sean, who wants to be a part of the conversation. What's up, Sean? What you got for us?
Hey, what's going on, man? I don't know if I caught you guys a little bit in the middle of your segment or whatnot, but you guys were giving so much airtime to this hypothetical trade situation for Paolo Banchero, man. And I'm like, yo, what's going on, man? Why are we not talking about, the fact that we're in the dogfight for the 6th seed? Why are we not talking about how, the development of Keegan Murray, which you guys kind of touched on a little bit now with his shooting. But, we're talking about something that makes no sense right now.
Yeah, well, thanks for the call, Sean. We have 10-minute segments, so you probably caught the 6 minutes that we spent talking about that. So I don't really.
Yeah, no,
It came up on the Sac chat and on our YouTube chat. You can catch us there as well, and we addressed it. But yeah, we literally have 10-minute segments, so it's not possible that in a 4-hour show that we spent more than 10 minutes, and I would say probably 6 minutes. Yeah. But Sean is right. They are in a battle right now. That's why we're going to spend the rest of the 2 hours talking about it.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's much of a conversation either. I think it's not happening. So there you go. That's my thoughts on the Paolo Banchero situation.
Yeah, but as we get to Keegan Murray and what he means to this team and what he could mean to the future of this team, does it feel like with Keon Ellis being added to the I guess defensive electricity and the defensive intensity to this team, does it feel like we're just not really talking about Keegan anymore?
I think a part of that is that he's struggled here recently. But yeah, we definitely have stopped talking about Keegan Murray's elite isolation defense and things like that. It's kind of been put to the back burner because, frankly, it hasn't really been there. Again, the other day I talked about how Keegan's defense really let the Kings down in that Washington game. I thought that should have been a matchup where Keegan took, not personally, but he should have been the one to try and slow down a guy like Kyle Kuzma because Keon Ellis couldn't do it. And, the conversation just kind of flew by, and it does feel like people are kind of putting Keegan's not development, but just talk of Keegan Murray a bit on the back burner right now. And I think it's because fans don't want to come down his road because we do, I think, know that this is probably not the Keegan that we're going to get most of the time. And you don't want to pile on him for just having a bad stretch, but it is getting to the point where I think, if he didn't have a good game on Saturday and he continued to have poor performances in these really crucial games coming up here, absolutely it would have started to become a conversation. So hopefully you just like the Kings defense, you just hope Keegan's turned a corner here, and hopefully there's no looking back. Hopefully tonight you get a good performance. Hopefully they're going to need him against Dallas. That's for sure. Whether he's the one guarding Luka, that's actually interesting on who they're going to put on Luka. But I think Keegan's going to have a couple opportunities for some big moments down the stretch here.
Well, and not only is it about Luka, and you've always said, hey, you can't really blitz a guy like Luka because he knows how to expose you. At the same time, you got Kyrie.
Yeah.
And this menu for Keon this week is really going to help us understand if this Ellis Island thing, if it's really about that life. Because you have Tyrese Maxey today.
Yeah.
Okay, tonight. Then you have Kyrie twice, and you're going to get switched on to Luka multiple times.
Yeah. Luka's probably going to back him down.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, absolutely. Because those are completely different style guys. Kyrie is going to be a handful for anybody, but that's what Keon Ellis is going to be tasked to do, man. That's what's going to make his money made, I guess, in a weird way, is locking those guys down. And, it's the cliche if you're not going to be able to stop them, but you can slow them down. That's what Keon's got to do, is just make sure that those guys don't have 30-plus point games, because realistically, if you do that, that's greatly helping the Kings' odds of winning those games. If Kyrie and Tyrese Maxey don't have big games these next 2 days, I think the Kings go 2-0, and I think it's as simple as that.
Yeah, and you're hoping for 2-0, but at the end of the day, then you're going to look at that Dallas game right in the face and say, what about can you go 3-0? So we discussed this a little bit last week, but right now the Kings are 2-0 against the Mavs.
Yeah.
But you were still saying that even splitting at this point doesn't do the Kings as much good as you would imagine.
Yeah, because essentially, I mean, if you split the games between Dallas, then you pretty much make no ground at all. Nothing happens, and it's not that it doesn't.
But you'd have the tiebreaker, though.
You would have the tiebreaker, but you're not separating yourself in the standings. So yes, you still have the tiebreaker, but at the end of the day, you're only a half game up, and Dallas has a lot more games, a lot easier of a schedule in front of you. As a matter of fact, actually, they're tied. They're both tied right now in terms of the standings. And yeah, the Kings do have the advantage, but it's just you're set. If you win both games, you're now 2 games clear of Dallas. If you split, you're even.
With a tougher
strength of schedule the rest of the way. And it just feels like Dallas is going to have the advantage there. And you're pretty much, I mean, if that's the case, then the Kings are not in the play-in. I'm sorry, they are in the play-in. Dallas will get that 6th seed if they do split and then Dallas goes better the rest of the way. That's just, I mean, you could just do yourself a ton of favors, especially for that 6th spot if you win both games. I know it's a really big task, but it just with how important that could be, I think it's worth it going all in these next 2 games. And, of course, down the stretch, it's going to be exhausting anyway, but I think you have to give everything. You truly do have to treat this week, this Monday, Tuesday, Friday, as a playoff series like that. I know in the playoffs, you're never going to have back-to-backs, but you've got to treat every single one of these games with the same level of intensity as you would a playoff game, because truly, this could end up doing you a lot of favors in the long run. If you end up sweeping the Dallas Mavericks, you're really putting yourself in a good situation to get that 6th seed.
When we return, more Kings talk. What do the Kings have to do to get the W tonight against the 76ers? Also, Vivek talks John Fisher and the A's coming to Sacramento. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Subscribe to Sactown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sactown Sports.
Purchase new wiper blades from O'Reilly Auto Parts today and we'll install them for free. See better and drive safer with O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
We're recording this Progressive commercial on a real boat to let people know that when you bundle your home, boat, and other vehicles...
What was that, Flo?
Progressive saves you money, Jamie.
Why are we doing this on a boat?
We were going for authenticity.
We're going to the city?
Authenticity.
You mean Atlantic City? But we're not in the Atlantic. Are we?
Bundle your home and other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Ball forward, take your base.
The only thing worse than a pitcher running out of gas on the mound is your old phone running out of storage for your photos in the stands.
Goodbye, home run.
Switch to Verizon and get a great deal on a new iPhone 15 Pro with tons of storage for all the ballpark pics you want. Just trade in your iPhone, any model, in any condition, so you'll feel like you're winning, even when your team's not. Trade in any iPhone in any condition for a great deal on iPhone 15 Pro with unlimited Ultimate, and get iPad and Apple Watch SE with eligible service plan. Only on Verizon.
Toyota's Ready, Set, Go sales event is on. Explore California this season with Toyota's legendary reliability. Take on spring with incredible fuel efficiency and more peace of mind. Right now, get low 3.99% APR financing on 2024 Highlander. Or check out great lease deals on the stylish 2024 Camry, sporty Corolla, and dynamic RAV4. Hurry in. Toyota's Ready, Set, Go sales event ends soon. Toyota. Let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit. Excludes hybrids. Ends 4/1/24.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my good friends at American Energy. Now, I've told you this before, but this is what we call extending a good deal. Right now, American Energy Heat and Air is offering an HVAC diagnostic for $99. Oh, wait. I'm sorry, never mind. They're offering it free. It's a $99 value, but you get it for $0. Let the American Energy team test your system connections and all the moving parts of that system to ensure that it's functioning properly. Now, this is a limited time offer, expires March 31st. Call today to schedule your appointment at 916-520-9990. Speak to the company that has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau that's been making the greater Sacramento area proud since 1981. 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Febreze Fabric Talk. Hey, it's me, your couch. Today's my favorite day of the week. Febreze Fabric Spray Day. The occasional deep cleans are nice, but in between, I'm needing a refresh. Ooh, here she comes with the Febreze Fabric Spray. Oh yeah, spritz them armrests. Don't be shy. Nothing like a good spray down to get me smelling so fresh and clean. Don't forget my back. Nice. Febreze Fabric Spray. It's just that easy. Now we can both breathe happy. Febreze. La 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 la.
Save big during MVP's bonus days at Lowe's with limited time deals on everything you need. Right now, buy one select DeWalt 20-volt max tool, get one DeWalt 20-volt max power stack battery 2-pack free, a $179 value. Plus, save $20 on a select bucket of Deck Plus wood screws. Find these deals and more in-store and online today. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 3/18 through 3/29. While supplies last. Selection varies by location.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, give you to Weber down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside to Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
Sacramento has a new tag team in the midday. It's Stiles and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Simone coming in with that new Metro Future. Kendrick, there's a lot of drama in the hip hop.
That's right. It's not a big three. It's just me.
And yes, it is just me. And I've definitely, this was the first beef right after my birthday happening that I could confidently say I do not care.
Yeah, you're like, I'm too old for this
I'm
stuff.
officially too old for this.
Yeah,
which is funny because the beef is with people that are older than me.
Right.
Whether it's Future or Drake, but everybody, I had people texting me, "Yo, did you see what Kendrick said?" I just thought,
this is a bunch of multimillionaires.
Yeah,
arguing over
I'm like, dude,
words.
I got to clean some diapers. I'm not really.
And they're also not actually beefing.
No, of course they're not.
I had so chummy.
My buddies, they're probably listening right now. You told me you cared. Well, what did you want me to say? I'm also the guy when someone says, "You ever seen that movie?" I will say yes, even if I didn't say the movie.
No.
Yes, if you have something queued up, I'm not going to ruin your day by. It's like that one scene in Enter Movie. Do you remember that? I'll just say yes.
Yeah. And the worst is though when people are like, "Oh, what's he saying?"
I mean, I'm going to quiz you. I'm going to have a follow-up question, and then what do you say back to me? You're going to be like,
says,
"Oh,
what,
I'm
what
not."
does he say there? Or what was that guy's
What's that
name?
line?
And I'll do it too. I'll be
like, "Oh,"
my
and then
goodness.
the person says, "Yeah."
It was on the tip of my tongue.
Your references are out of control. Everyone knows.
I am completely just, I'm not going to kill the vibe. I'm not gonna kill the vibe.
I love that.
Okay, let's go through the exercise. Remember that? Did you see that one movie? No,
that's me. That's how every conversation with me goes.
Then it ends.
Yeah, that's
and
like
then it ends.
50% of me and Verlon's
Homer,
conversations.
yeah.
You've seen that movie, right? And I'm like,
there's usually
no,
a
I
little
haven't.
follow-up of XYZ why you should watch it.
Yeah,
No, definitely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It also depends, right? There's some movies out there.
What's your most egregious movie you've never seen?
I'm not saying.
Please do.
I've got
Please.
mine, and I'm not ashamed of it at all. I've never seen Forrest Gump.
Kings are in a playoff race. We'll talk during the
summer.
summer.
My bad. You're right.
We'll talk during the
That's
summer.
right.
All
Serious
right.
time, you guys, please.
Let's get to some pocket watching and what is happening tonight with the Suns. And the Suns really, this is probably their easiest game left, right? Suns at Spurs. And the Suns will probably take care of business. And then you have Mavericks at Utah.
The Utes.
So you're probably going to get 2 W's there. If anything, I feel, you never know with the Suns, but I feel more confident about the Jazz maybe falling into something than I do the Spurs. The Spurs are kind of, they are who we are, and we know what comes next for them.
We get Wemby versus Bol.
You do get Wemby versus Bol, and Wemby versus
freak off
Bol, and Bol had some things to say.
Did he really?
Yes, he was. There's something I cannot say on the airwaves, but he had something to say about because they just played the Spurs, so they played them back to back, and there was a call against Bol on Wemby. And Wemby had something to say, to the ref. And not something we can say on the airwaves, but basically you guys are helping Wemby in so many words. In so many words. Go look it up.
Yeah, you look it up yourself.
So now they have one of their not back-to-backs, but 2-game series, we'll call it, against the Spurs, both in San Antonio. So the Suns have just been hanging out in the Riverwalk, beautiful this time of year. So the Suns won 131 to 106 on Saturday, and then next Suns at Spurs today. After that, and we've been alluding to it, but that's I cannot stress you enough, that's literally the last easy game for the Suns. After that game, or after this game tonight with the Spurs, the Suns are at Nuggets, at Thunder, at Pelicans. They host the Cavs. They host the Timberwolves. They host the Pelicans.
Their schedule's a joke.
They host the Clippers. At Clippers, they go to Sacramento, and then they go to Minnesota.
I think the Kings are the lowest seeded team that they play the rest of this year.
That's actually
they don't play.
Correct.
I think the Kings are the only team. The Cavs are a 3 seed. The Kings are the only not top 5 opponent in their conference that they play this year.
Wow.
Nuggets are, as it stands, the 1 seed. So they go 1, 2, 5, East 3, West 3, West 5. Back-to-back against West 4, play the Kings, who are the 7, and then go right back and end the season against the West 3.
They're not going to lose all of those games.
Is it 500? Like, what are you hoping for?
If I'm a Suns fan, or if I'm somebody on the Suns, I'm thinking, hey, we know what's in front of us. We win, and we take this momentum into the playoffs.
Phoenix is 21-22 versus teams above 500 this year. They have not done well. They have killed teams below 21-7 against teams below 500. So really, if you're going off of that, I mean, they're almost like the reverse Kings, where they take care of business, but when it comes to the top competition, they have their big 3.5 if we want to throw Grayson Allen in there these days. But besides that, they have nothing. And a lot of the best teams in the league just have a multitude of really good players. Like the Pelicans go 8-9 deep. The Nuggets, same thing. I don't know. And a lot of these are on the road. They have 1, 2, 3, 6 of those, 7 of those games are going to be on the road. I don't know, man. I don't know. 7 of their 11 remaining games on the road. I could see Phoenix finishing below 500 the rest of the way. I'm not factoring them into this playoff race.
You've been on that. Race. Yeah, you've been on that for a while. You haven't been worried about the Suns as much as you have the Mavericks, who are right there with the Kings, and all 3 are in action today. All 3 are in action today, and the Kings, obviously. What do you think people thought? The NBA world, when they looked up and they saw that the Kings lost to the Wizards?
I think that they probably lost, and they probably said exactly what we said. Same old Kings.
Yeah.
Like this is, it would be insanity to expect them to do something different at this point in the season, because, we joked about it. Literally at the time, we were saying this is probably going to happen, where they just have this great, huge win where your morale is up, emotions are high, momentum's feeling it, and then you just completely throw it all away the very next game. It was probably expected for people who were paying attention, But, I think that it does probably factor into people looking down on the Kings. They probably feel like, I've seen this team lose to some of the worst teams in the NBA. How good could they actually be?
Right. Well, and also, you are what your record says you are, and that's why they're down there.
Yep. That's a great point.
That's why. That's literally why they're in the predicament that they're in right now, because throughout the season, they've done that. And
That's
they're
so
all
true.
there for different reasons. And the Kings have been probably the most healthy of the three teams. But you look at the Suns, and like you said, they take care of business, but they cannot beat the elite teams or the teams that are good. The Kings are there because they can beat the teams that they are better than most of the time, or that are considered elite or good more times than not. But they can't take care of business against the bad teams. And then the Mavericks have just been a bit banged up all season. And the Mavericks feel the most like they should be there. They're just not. They're not consistent enough. They don't have a deep enough roster.
Yes. Yeah, they don't have a deep enough roster. It's really Luka, Kyrie centric, and it'll be interesting. I mean, I think they have enough talent to get to the playoffs, but once they actually get into the play-in, they're a scary play-in team. But come playoff time, I don't think Dallas is really going to be able to do much of anything.
Which would be tough if they get that 6th seed. And I guess the people could be saying the same thing about the Kings.
Oh, I guarantee they are. And I mean, it's fair again, but just like you put it, I think that's a great way of putting it. Would you say the Kings have tricked off more than 3 games this year?
Yeah.
Well, that would put them at the number 4 seed. They are only 3 games behind the Clippers. And to your point, I mean, if they just take care of business 3 different times this year, 4 different times this year, we're talking about, they were a 3 seed last year. They're sitting in the 4 seed.
Right.
And, this is probably where they belong. But at the same time, at least they're not fighting for the play-in. So in a weird way, you are right. Like your record, you are who your record says you are. And 70 games throughout the season, I think we see that the Kings are they very much deserve to be in the spot that they are in right now.
Yes. And based on who they've lost to and who they have beaten, I look at it from the perspective of, we can talk about the Western Conference all we want, and maybe it's connected from the war of attrition and just it being a really long season. But the reason the Kings are in this spot isn't really because we talked about the Timberwolves, and the reason the Kings aren't better than the 3 seed like they were 3 seed last season is because of the Western Conference. The reason the Kings aren't a 4 seed is not because of the Western Conference.
Exactly.
It's because of them. It's literally because of them. I saw something, it said that last year it was about the Lakers.
Yes, I saw that as well.
And it said the Lakers, their record last season if they had the record that they have right now last season, they'd be the 4 seed. They are the 9 seed.
9 seed. Yeah, and that really tells you all to your point. Like that is the Timberwolves and the Thunder being in there, but the Pelicans too being in there. It's just a much deeper conference than it was last year. But at the same time, even though we do say that the Kings have put themselves in this situation, I still think that there still is proof that potential 4 seed team is still in there, though. I think that's the thing that's been so frustrating all year is it hasn't felt like they've lived up to the potential, even though, a lot of people say, what did you expect? You bring the same team back and, you're going to get the same results. But I think the interesting thing about this season has been, we all would say that there's just a bit left out on the floor, that it feels like they never fully reached their full potential this year. You can look at the 3-point numbers of, Keegan and Kevin Huerter as the prime example of that. But I would say it's still a positive to say, hey, maybe if these guys are starting to lock in, and then come playoff time, they are 100% locked in. Maybe this is a team that has 4 seed potential, but just is a lower seed. And that could be a lot more dangerous of a team than what people are expecting.
916-339-1140. The 209 is saying, you said that, talking about the Suns. You said that about the Suns 2 weeks ago. They are 7-3 in their last 10. I hope you're right. That is from Dave. Yeah. Thank you for that, Dave. As we look at who the Suns have beaten, on March 5th, they beat the Nuggets in overtime, okay? March 5th. The best team they've beaten besides that has been the Cavs. They beat the Cavs March 11th. Besides that, They lost to the Thunder. They beat the Raptors. They lost to the Celtics. They lost to the Celtics again. They beat the Hornets. They lost to the Bucks. They beat the 76ers. They beat the Hawks. And then they beat the Spurs. So they just take care of business.
Yeah, they had
but there are no more. They don't be after tonight. They don't have any more of those gimme games. Good on them for winning those gimme games.
Right.
But tonight's the last one, and then starts their gauntlet. When we return, continue the conversation. And Vivek has some things to say about the A's coming to Sacramento and a Major League Baseball team in Sacramento. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Ball forward, take your base.
The only thing worse than a pitcher running out of gas on the mound is your old phone running out of storage for your photos in the stands.
Goodbye, home run.
Switch to Verizon and get a great deal on a new iPhone 15 Pro with tons of storage for all the ballpark pics you want. Just trade in your iPhone, any model, in any condition, so you'll feel like you're winning, even when your team's not. Trade in any iPhone in any condition for a great deal on iPhone 15 Pro with unlimited ultimate and get iPad and Apple Watch SE with eligible service plan. Only on Verizon.
Marcus is a connoisseur of anything that's free, so he was happy to read the disclaimer on TurboTax Free Edition.
Roughly 37% of taxpayers qualify. Form 1040 and limited credits only. See how at TurboTax.com. That's me.
File your taxes 100% free with TurboTax Free Edition and get your max refund guaranteed. See if you qualify to file for free at TurboTax.com. See max refund guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.
Join Chris Watkins and the Sactown Sports Street Team this Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. at Fieldhouse American Sports Pub for some basketball madness and their mouthwatering full menu, 1310 Fulton Avenue. See you there.
Live and local, it's Stiles and Watkins. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
CBS, local CBS, Jake Gaden had a conversation with Vivek Ranadive, Kings owner, and had a lot to say, not just about basketball and entrepreneurship. Go check out that. I believe it's on YouTube, or I'm sure it's on CBS as well. Go check all that out. And Vivek had some things to say about John Fisher, the A's, and possibly having their own baseball team. But Sacramento could easily be a baseball city. The weather is great.
Yeah.
It's nice and hot. It's baseball weather.
Yesterday was like, that's perfect.
It was literally
weather,
perfect. It was a little bit of wind, not too crazy.
Right.
The
sun was out.
The sun was shining.
Clouds were showing but not covering.
Exactly. You couldn't have drawn up a better situation. And I had a nice couple nice photos. The backdrop is really nice. And when you look at just minor league baseball in the different cities where these teams are, I would have to say that Sacramento is got to be a top 10. I want to even say top 5 location for a AAA organization. And that is why the conversations are starting about maybe the next level, right? Whether that be the A's as a rental. And I know our own Carmichael Davis had a lot of things to say about that, or also their own team whenever that may happen. So let's hear from Vivek and what he had to say.
It's no secret that I'm friends with John Fisher, and I've been talking to him about having the A's play here for a few years. And I've also been in touch with the baseball commissioner about possibly having a major league team here. And if we can make the A's thing happen, and if we can show that, hey, this is an amazing fan base, we're going to have a huge response if we have baseball here. So in my mind, this should be a mecca for sports. It should be soccer, it should be baseball, it should be women's volleyball. It should be a whole range of sports.
How confident are you that can happen in the next 10 years, though?
I don't see any reason why that can't happen. Certainly, we have the community, we have the fan base. We've got a track record of doing what we say we're going to do. We said we were going to do this. We were going to build an arena. We were going to sell games out. We were going to make it a successful business. We've done all that. So I think we just have to keep moving forward and just working hard, and I think it'll happen.
I mean, that's great stuff.
Yeah, I mean, him saying that he can't see why it can't happen in the next 10 years, all that. I mean, I don't know if every single one of those sports can come in the next 10 years, but I mean, you love to, first off, you just love to hear somebody who is, you know, I won't say Vivek is local, but, you know, is entrenched in this community at this point with that kind of money, talking that kind of way, because frankly, here in Sacramento for a long time, that was even just a problem, is figuring out, okay, yeah, we would love to have these major teams or have a new arena, but really don't have anybody locally who's got that deep of pockets and also loves the city and loves sports in that manner. So first off, I want to, you know, hat tip Vivek for at least saying all the right things. And I do think that's a big part of it with these leagues, is just outwardly saying we have the motivation to do this. So shout out Vivek for at least going out there. I will say, if I'm part of Vivek's PR team, maybe the first sentence you say shouldn't be, I know everybody knows I'm close friends with John Fisher. That's not going to get you a lot of it's not going to do you a lot of favors here right now. But at the same time, you got to do what you got to do to get the team here. And if you know, if not even maybe metaphorically, but making a deal with the devil is how you have to get a team to your city, you got to do what you got to do. It's not always pretty how these things get done, but you know, if this is how it has to get done, after seeing the pictures from yesterday, I think you, Frankie, Nate was out there. He posted a couple pictures of the entire stadium full. It was 14,000 people. I don't know if I've ever seen, maybe Joe Jarose was joking with us, the Savannah Bananas were probably the last people that sold out that place. I mean, he's got something there for sure. I don't know locally how people would deal with their relationship with the A's and all those bad feelings, but just from the pure perspective of, is there general interest in the community? I mean, you were there yesterday. You can definitely speak to it a lot better than I can, but I would say, no pun intended, it seems like a home run.
I'm just not sure. Now, yesterday was the River Cats and the Giants, right? I don't know what the turnout would be like. And if it doesn't look great, then your tryout didn't go as well as you had hoped. Maybe it's a situation where it's hard to think that the Yankees coming to town wouldn't look the way you would expect, and to have all those fans, you would think it would look right. I don't think it's going to look like what it looked like last night every single night. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm thinking Coliseum and how much bigger the Coliseum is. Yeah. So you shrink that down to the minor league stadium. Maybe it would look really packed because it is smaller, but I do know that there will be a lot of A's fans out there that would refuse to go. Yeah. And 916-339-1140, if you are a Sacramento A's fan or just a Sacramento baseball fan, would you go to the games? Because Vivek is obviously thinking that it would look great, right? And even if it doesn't, at least he can say that they tried, right? And all right, it didn't work out. And then you could still blame it on, not John Fisher if you're Vivek, because that's your boy, but you could still blame it on, hey, look how many people came for these certain games and how many sellouts we had with the PR nightmare that is the Oakland /Vegas /Sacramento A's
/Utah. Don't forget
Utah. If we can do /Fremont, if we could do all of these things, right? Or if we could make it look like this with all that drama, imagine a pure team that is solely Sacramento and what that could look like.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's really exciting. I don't know if they'll ever get the okay. This feels like their best and probably only realistic option is by getting the A's on a short-term lease and then having it turn into a bigger thing because it was such a big success. And, you know, I don't think ultimately I would be opposed to it. I know that there's a lot of sour feelings. I have tons of A's fans in my life who I would totally understand why they wouldn't show up. But at the end of the day, you know, if it's a Sacramento baseball team and that thing says Sacramento across the front and it's at a major league level, I'm going to support. I just am. Like, this city is on the precipice of really getting over the hump in terms of being talked about as a cow town. You're new here. We talk all the time about the budding nightlife and all that stuff. And there's no better way of entering the conversation of being a bigger market than just adding bigger sports clubs to your city. I think that's the surefire way of being talked about in a more serious light.
Not just a quiet cowtown anymore.
No, that's right. That's right. Who's laughing now?
Whenever you see that ad, they hear us now.
I get that ad on YouTube legitimately 4 times a day.
Yeah,
me too. It's a lot.
I was like, I wish you guys wouldn't be spending your advertising dollars on us.
But it still, it still gets me going. Gets me going.
It's a great commercial.
Every single time. It does hit differently when the Kings are losing, though. It's a lot more fun to watch when the Kings are winning.
Recently, I've started to get this ad. It's like a fake Dave Cavill. And he's like sitting in front of the calls, like on the, I think it's like the BART connection from.
And I see it every time now.
Every time. I've got it. I've started to get it on our Sactown Sports. So go ahead and check out Sactown Sports YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Click on as many videos as possible. And maybe you'll get that Dave Cavill ad. It's a strange one.
How is he not? How whoever's putting that on? How are they not getting sued?
That's what I was thinking too, because the guy is literally like, "Hey, how's it going? I'm Dave Cavill." Oh, blocked. I just blocked you on social. Like I was like, "Dang, bro!" Like, it's kind of crazy. So go check out that ad.
When we get back, we will preview the 76ers. Sabonis with a chance to make history. And someone from the 4-letter network had some things to say comparing a college team to a pro team. You heard me right. Stiles Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee, structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install a new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
Maida Chevy saves you $8,000 off MSRP on every new Silverado LT and RST half-ton diesel in stock after rebates. A Maida Chevy exclusive.
See all the truck season savings at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See dealer for details. Ends 4/30/24.
Discover your dream home at Subcontractors United, your source for all home improvement needs. A talented team of home services experts is ready to make your projects a breeze. No more endless internet searches. Find your contractors in one place. Enjoy stress-free service absolutely free, with no hidden costs and no accounts to set up. Transform your living space into something extraordinary. Visit Subcontractors United today and experience the joy of hassle-free home improvement. Dream big at subcontractorsunited.com.
It's time to trade in and trade up at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com. It's all a click away.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own one report.
National Ping Club Fitter of the Year, Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is introducing the straightest, most forgiving Ping driver ever with the new Ping G430 Max 10K driver. A fixed back weight, Ping's largest head profile, and a carbon fly wrap crown help G430 Max 10K launch the ball higher with less spin for consistently longer and straighter results. Schedule your fitting and see for yourself at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue to Cap City Freeway, or online at hagenoaks.com.
Hi, everyone. It's Emran Pilati, the host of the True Sports Card Show here on Sactown Sports 1140, Saturdays at 10 a.m. I'm excited about our second location at the Roseville Galleria as True Sports Cards continues our expansion. And to celebrate this day, we're excited to announce that Kevin Herter from the Sacramento Kings will be signing autographs on March 30th at 3 p.m. You can get your tickets for this event right now by going to truesportscards.com, searching Kevin Herter in the search bar, and buying your ticket. Limited tickets are available, so please go to the website, truesportscards.com, and get your Kevin Herter tickets right now.
Right now, you're missing all the fun at the Hagen Oaks Driving Range powered by Top Tracer. It's the place to be this summer in Sacramento. Whether you're an accomplished player or a newbie, there's something for everyone at the Hagen Oaks Nighttime Driving Range. Golf is happening right now, and the Hagen Oaks Driving Range is the perfect place to see what the fuss is all about. The Hangout Food Truck offers tasty bites and craft beers on the brand new relaxed patio, and with a free concert schedule, there's always something for everyone at the Hagen Oaks Driving Range. Join the fun tonight until midnight. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Fidium Fiber, Dawson Oil Company, and Good Guys Heating and Cooling.
Sacramento has a new tag team in the midday. It's Stiles and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Going to get into the history that Domantas Sabonis can make tonight and all that means for his career and his legacy, but wanted to tie a bow on the Sacramento baseball situation. For now, from our guy Amid Rock, the 916 on the text line, Sacramento baseball fan here. Red Sox, my team. I have mixed feelings about the A's coming to Sac because the ownership drove the team into the ground. I would still go see them play. Honestly, Sutter Health Park is better because it's newer. O.co was not, and the Truffs were so 1980s. Yeah, they definitely were. Let's go to Rick, who's been hanging out during the break, who wants to talk a little bit of baseball. What's up, Rick? You're on Stiles and Watkins. What you got for us?
How you doing?
We're good. We're good. What you got?
Right on. So I guess my question is, I hear all the negativity and hate towards John Fisher.
Mm-hmm.
Where's that hate and negativity towards Joe Lacob? Where's it towards Mark Davis? I mean, they did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm confused.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Rick. I think a lot of it is just, perception is everything, right? And Davis, he did get a lot of hate.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Davis did get a lot of hate. I think that the Raiders situation has just been different simply because they were in LA. It's almost as if Raider fans were used to it.
Sure.
Right. And from what I've gathered, it didn't feel like Oakland was meeting the Raiders halfway as much as maybe Oakland was trying to meet the A's halfway. I think that the relationship between the city of Oakland and Mark Davis, even from Mount Davis being built and not being able to use it, to being in LA, to having obviously Al Davis previously to Mark Davis, I think that their relationship was never going to get there. As far as the Warriors are concerned, the Warriors were initially in San Francisco. And then they went to Oakland. Now they go back to San Francisco. And that one...
You also didn't move them very far.
And you didn't move them very far. And that one, it's the Golden State Warriors. So you weren't taking away an Oakland
branded
team. And then you get to the A's where they literally... And part of this is just the A's getting in their own way. They were trying to poo-poo on what happened with the Raiders and what happened with the Warriors, and now you launch a campaign of Rooted in Oakland.
Yep.
You launch a campaign of Rooted in Oakland and then uproot from Oakland.
Yeah.
So some of that stuff has just gotten in the way when you hear from the Oakland mayor, when you hear from the city of Oakland, when you hear from A's fans, it feels like the city of Oakland, they did do everything. Mm-hmm. And John Fisher saying, oh, it just didn't work out. They didn't do this. They didn't do that. Where the city of Oakland is saying, well, we did, though.
Yeah.
We raised that money. We had a place. Yeah. And ultimately, they just didn't want to go through with it. That's why I think the three situations are all different, and John Fisher gets looked at. And just the way he's gone about things, right? It's just.
Well, and also, like, those moves both of those moves made sense, honestly. Like, the Vegas move for the Raiders, like, again, the Raiders are a brand. They're not necessarily stuck to any single location. You can move the Raiders pretty much anywhere, and the Raider fans are still going to travel. Also, Las Vegas is a huge opportunity for the NFL in general. Mm-hmm. I would say that move has worked out and it's made sense. The Warriors, you listed it out, but also San Francisco, like the Warriors were trying to be bigger time. They wanted to be flash and flare, and San Francisco just fit that a lot better. The A's, like you point out, at every single turn, it has been, hey, it might be easier to go to Oakland. And it just felt like they were adamant about, let's get out of here. But at the same time, for years, they were trying to make the fan base, to your point with the Rooted, they were trying to give the facade of, oh, no, we're the most
You'll
of the
always
community.
have us.
You'll always have us. You'll never have anything to worry about. We are Oakland. And then it turns out the entire time, they were no better than anybody else. So I guess I hear what the caller's saying there. Like, maybe the other two deserve more flack, but at the same time, nobody's done it as messily, not that that's a word, but as messily as the A's have here.
I do know people that don't really follow the Warriors anymore. They live in Oakland,
yeah,
and they don't really follow the Warriors anymore now that they're in San Francisco.
And that, you know what, that did change the fan base to that point. Like, people talk about all the time, like the Oakland, the Roracle crowd is not these, highbrow San Francisco fans.
And let's just be very honest, right? I think the reason that Joe Lacob doesn't get the same amount of flack, in part, you go across the bridge, is also because they've been winning, right? If the Warriors stunk,
that's right,
it might be a little bit different. So once again, Steph Curry, it's the cover of Steph Curry. Yep. And when they did move, they had KD, right? And it was, we're going to keep rolling.
Right.
And as a fan, it's hard to be mad at a team, even if they move. You're in the same state. Okay, you're 10 minutes away, depending on traffic, it'd be much worse than that. And you're putting up banners and you're having parades.
Yep.
That's a lot different than the A's, who before the move, you weren't even trying to put out a good product. Yeah. That's also been the issue. If the A's were perennial playoff contenders and world champions, you'd still be ticked off for a different reason, but at least you say, all right, this guy, he's making some moves. You're a bottom feeder, you're almost a 4A team a lot of the seasons, and now on top of that, we're going to move, and now we're going to spend this money to be a good team, but we're not going to do it while we're in Oakland.
Yeah, no, that's a great point too. Yeah, the fact that what A's fans in general have just had to go through, and then you're essentially going to say, hey, that light at the end of the rainbow that you were, or the pot of gold that you were hoping for. Yeah, even if it does happen, it's probably not going to be here. So you might have thought that you had all these good times, and we know how the A's go in cycles of being good and then kind of leaning into prospects. Well, this time the difference might be we're gonna suck for the last 5 years that we're here. And then you're probably not going to get any of the good that always made the wait worth it. Is, oh, yeah, it's fine that we're going to suck for a couple of years. We're going to get Matt Chapman and Matt Olson and, that whole crop of guys. That light at the end of the tunnel is not going to be there this time either.
Yeah, those couple of years where they had the one-game playoff, I was just hoping they could get it done. Yeah. And it was a great scene out there. And it was 2 years in a row the A's lost. And I think some of the 3-game series and the 1-game playoffs, and they just couldn't get over the hump. Yeah. But we talk about the Kings having a payroll of the 23rd in the NBA, and at least being in this conversation, the A's and what they were able to do. I mean, the Moneyball thing, it just never ended.
Yeah.
And how did that movie end? Not with the World Series. So at some point you got to open your wallet.
Yeah.
Right? They came, who was it? They came over, the Red Sox did. They took the Moneyball, the good parts of Moneyball, but then combined it with paying dudes. And the Red Sox.
Mookie Betts.
Yeah. And then they let Mookie Betts walk after they won some World Series, though.
That's right.
So it's not that what they were doing didn't make sense. There was just always going to be a line of, you got to cash out a little bit.
At some point.
At some point, and then this whole thing is looming. And then you have people, I mean, look, have you seen the Coliseum? I mean, people literally will sit and the chairs will break. I mean, it's embarrassing. It's bad. And instead of following through with the city of Oakland, knowing that Oakland knows this is all we have left.
Yep.
Okay, so we will do whatever we need to help in that way. And then at that point, the A's saying, well, actually, now we want to leave too. Maybe the negotiations would have been different with the Raiders. I think the Warriors, there was just no shot they were staying. If they knew that they were scared of, or they were in danger of losing everything, the A's, it always felt like rooted in Oakland.
They're not going anywhere.
We're the A's, and we're the one thing you can depend on. And then they said, you know what? We're going to go chase a bright light somewhere. And with this half-made idea that they're not even completely sure what's next. So, hopefully this thing figures itself out. I do think that there will be more that comes out probably this week, just so everybody is aware and you can hear all about it on these airwaves on Sactown Sports, specifically Stiles Watkins. When we return, Sabonis, a chance to make history, and also Shohei Ohtani addressing the media. Chris, you said at 12:45? At 2:45. 2:45. Okay, so Drive Guys might have to get you, but we will definitely react to all of that tomorrow as well. I am very interested in what he has to say. When we get back, Sabonis, chance to make double history. And no, I'm not talking in and out. Stiles Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings 5-game homestand begins tonight against the Philadelphia 76ers. The push for the postseason is here, and every game is critical.
Dribble handoff to Malik. Can he do it again? Pocket pass back to Sabonis. The two-hand hammer. That could be a dagger. It's 115-107. Malik Monk with the assist pass for Domantas Sabonis.
Listen to all the thrilling moments beginning tonight at 7 on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports.
For a precision-crafted performance, the decision is easy. A new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Get the driving experience you've been waiting for in a new Acura. Get the best selection and customer service you deserve from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or use our online express store at AcuraofStockton.com. Acura of Stockton will buy your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Don't settle for less than precision-crafted performance of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home, and the men who use PTO to catch afternoon basketball in March with the boys. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Who wants to settle for a single TV? With more TVs, bigger screens, plus our fabulous scenic views, there's more to watch at Twin Peaks.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
NBAstore.com, the official online store of the NBA and the world's largest selection of officially licensed NBA fan gear. With unique designs by Fanatics, Nike, and all the latest styles for every NBA team. Plus one-of-a-kind products and authentic collectibles. Shop now and get today's special offer. NBAstore.com, a Fanatics experience.
Hey guys, do you know your T-level? Revive Men's Health here in Sacramento is helping you take that first step toward better health and enhanced intimacy with a free testosterone level test, exam, and consultation. Plus, for this month only, qualified patients can kickstart their treatment with a free supply of ED medication. Revive's customized ED treatments can provide immediate results, restore blood flow naturally, and even bring spontaneity back into your love life. With both in-person and telemedicine appointments available, plus free shipping directly to you, Revive takes the hassle out of treating low T and ED. Having an optimal testosterone level can change your whole life, and it starts with knowing your T level. Take that first step and book your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation, and kickstart your treatment with a free supply of ED medication this month only. Call Revive Men's Health Sacramento at 916-365-4566. That's 916-365-4566, or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Dr. Ken Howachek and kinesiologist Kelsey Graham discuss the Good Feet store.
The foot has a lot of detail. It has a lot of complexity. There's a lot that can go wrong. A lot of problems start in the foot and end up elsewhere. Knee pain, hip pain, back pain. When aligning the feet properly, we can see relief elsewhere. And that's the beauty of the Good Feet arch support. It can place the feet into their ideal position and gives them the balance, the support, the comfort, and the relief of the pain. The bottom line is that the Good Feet arch support can be a highly effective pain relief solution when nothing else has worked.
The feet have a really big impact on how the rest of the body moves. The knees, the hips, the lower back especially. If the foot isn't properly aligned, all of these joints are going to function incorrectly. That results in a lot of muscle tension and chronic pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that the right arch supports can put the foot in its proper alignment. So all the joints of the rest of the body will be aligned properly as well. And when the body's aligned, we can reduce the risk of injury and chronic pain.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Modesto, Stockton, and Vacaville for a free fitting and test walk. Coming to the venue at Thunder Valley, March 30th, World One presents the Jacksons with Sister Sledge. Tickets available now at the Thunder Valley box office, Ticketmaster.com, and World1Presents.com.
Live and local, it's Stiles and Watkins. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Domantas Sabonis. Domantas Sabonis. You know what this means? Tonight, we get an opportunity to see how strong the brand is.
That's right.
Did we get our Malik Monk? We want the funk into the building already.
There's no way.
I'm so excited.
It's a pretty simple. You just got to add it to a soundboard, man. It's a pretty simple thing.
I feel like Dave would have told us this morning.
I don't think they're exactly calling him back to be like, hey, we are doing it.
Sure.
Hey, green light.
Green light.
Green
and
light.
what
Let the boys know.
Malik puts up another goose egg?
Yeah, well, we might never know. We might never know.
And I say that as a person who adopted him on Friday afternoon, if you don't remember.
We might never know, but we do know that Domantas Sabonis has a chance to make history. And if he does, it'll just be a really cool thing. This is from NBA on X with another double-double tonight against Philly. Sabonis can stand alone with the longest streak of double-doubles since the NBA-ABA merger in 1976, 1977. No current NBA player was alive the last time a player had a double-double streak longer than Sabonis, who matched Kevin Love's 53-game run from 2010-2011 during the Kings' win over the Magic on Saturday. Is this a pause the game and give the basketball, or?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's at timeout. We're going to mention it, and it's going to get a thunderous applause.
Really?
Give him the basketball.
You can't pause the game for
It's a big deal for us here.
Give him the
basketball. Guys, do I have to pull out the Wilt?
Game.
You're going to make me pull out the Wilt number, aren't you? You're going to make me pull out the Wilt number. Okay.
Give him the basketball.
Double.
It's not a quiet cowtown anymore.
That's right.
That's what they say.
Not a quiet little cowtown anymore.
NBA.
They can hear us now.
They can hear us now. They can give us the ball now.
Let's see here.
Give him the ball, Chris.
You can't do it because
if you were in charge, would you give him the ball?
No, and here's why. Because 54 is nice. Wilt Chamberlain has the actual record at 227 games.
Okay.
You're talking about because of the merger.
That's why it says post NBA ABA merger, because Wilt Chamberlain did this. It was just in the 60s, and he did it like 4 times as many times as Sabonis had done
modern basketball?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's going against a bunch of plumbers.
That's what I'm saying. Come on, man.
I mean, I just don't
pause the game.
I don't know if it's a pause. Like pause the game is like
9-1-6.
insane. That's like you're breaking a score, like an all-time scoring record.
It's a big deal.
Let us know. Would you pause the game for the double streak?
What, so he grabs the rebound and then all of a sudden lights turn off, streamers come down, and he's like, what is going on?
916-339-1140. Should they pause the game tonight for Domas's double streak?
No, they shouldn't.
Well,
they're going to do it at a timeout.
They'll do it at a timeout.
It's going to be great.
And I just think it's a great look for Domas. I know the haters are still going to have a lot to say. The triple-double thing, and you'll see the Kings lose even when Sabonis gets a triple-double, and then you say, man, they wasted that. And I understand why people say that. Double-doubles, to me, to be honest, feel more connected to a W because it's just very straightforward. Triple-double, I've always said it could bring the feeling of you're doing too much. Not because you're stat padding or whatever, just somebody else isn't picking up the slack.
Yeah.
Double-doubles, I feel, are more connected to W's.
Yeah. No, and it feels more like a symbolic, oh, you did your job. Like normally it's a point guard will get 10 assists. Well, that's symbolic of, hey, you were really moving the ball around like you're supposed to.
Right.
Rebounds, bigs are supposed to rebound at that level. So yeah, and I hear exactly what you're saying, because sometimes especially with like those Luka triple doubles, it's like, well, yeah, you got a triple double. The ball's in your hand the entire game, and maybe it's more symbolic of you're not letting anybody else do anything or feel involved at all.
Yeah,
it's going to be a one-man show, so it's special for sure. I mean, it's not something that we should overlook. It maybe is worthy of pausing the game.
That's
it's
right.
Close. It's close to being worthy of it. Like it is. It's pretty insane to truly because that's like the ultimate. When you're talking about Sabonis's consistency all year, when you're talking about, hey, this guy, you don't have to worry about his effort level. That's the number that you should point to every single time, is the fact that in a league where, Malik Monk scored 0 points on Saturday, Domantas Sabonis every single game.
That's a good point.
You know exactly what he's going to bring you. And that's at the least 10 points and 10 rebounds. That's insane.
Good point.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Every single night he brings it. And there's been games where, the Kings are losing to the Pistons. There's been games where the Kings are, fighting against the Nuggets. And every single time he's having that impact. It's not something that should be overlooked.
I know we are giving Sabonis his flowers, but I just thought about this from Saturday. That corner three was insane.
I've never seen him take one. Yeah, I've never seen him take a corner three all season.
What was the thought process there? And I'm sitting there watching with a bunch of other fans, just thinking, what is happening? I thought it was a glitch in the system.
Yeah, I've never seen him post up in that corner before.
I think Katie said the same too. She said it very kindly.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. Now that the Kings have won the game, I appreciate
That's
it.
The shortest three on the floor.
It is. It is. And when you are a guy who is a walking double-double, it affords you opportunities to say, hey, I got to do some things too. Because the one thing we will take calls on, I'd say at least once a week, is somebody saying he's got to get that mid-range. He's got to be able to shoot more.
Yeah.
He's got to do this. He's got to do that. And the fact that I do think that his shooting is a bit underrated as far as the mid-range. But even if it isn't, the fact that he's doing all this with no jump shot in this NBA is crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane because you're right. Like bigs are supposed to be dead. He's supposed to be a dinosaur, and he's still showing, much like, in a weird way, Tom Thibodeau is showing, hey, my little 90s style of basketball still works. Sabonis is showing that, hey, you don't have to shoot. You can play like a traditional big and still have real impact. You just have to be able to do some other things. And I think his passing ability definitely allows him to stay on the floor a bit more than what a traditional big like himself would do. But, he's just finding his way to be valuable. And it's crazy to me that, I honestly wouldn't believe that you could be, the style of center Sabonis is and still be able to thrive in today's NBA. I would have thought that you just could be a Steven Adams or Jonas Valanciunas, and that's it. But Sabonis is showing, man, like he is a lot closer to Nikola Jokic than he is to those other two guys I just mentioned.
Yeah, and if you go around the NBA and you look at these other centers, and the Kings are going to face the Sixers without Embiid, But is Sabonis the most traditional center? Because it feels like he's not due to how he passes, but offensively, he's pretty darn traditional. Who's more traditional to you, Embiid or Sabonis? As far as
Sabonis,
it's Sabonis, right?
Yeah.
It
shoulder,
feels
shoulder,
like
shoulder.
It's shoulder. It feels like he is the most traditional elite center in the league.
Yeah. No, I mean, because Bam's a lot more current, right? Like Bam's like a 6'9".
He can't shoot threes.
He can't shoot, but he's a little bit more playmaking. In terms of elite, I mean, there's really not that many elite centers, and the other options would be the guys I just listed, like a Jonas Valanciunas or a Vucevic or something like that. And I think Sabonis is a lot better than those guys, and he's probably even more traditional than both of those two guys. So I think what he's doing is absolutely crazy, and I honestly do think that's the biggest reason why we see guys like Kevin O'Connor and a lot of the I'll sound like Draymond here, a lot of the new media people, the younger guys who are super into advanced analytics and, spacing the floor as much as possible. They look at Sabonis and again, they see a dinosaur. They're like, this guy is not supposed to win. Short arms, which we don't know where that narrative came from. But I think they just look at him and they say, you're just flat out point blank period, not supposed to win in today's NBA with a guy like this on the floor. It's supposed to kill you.
Right. Because the traditional centers that are left, they're not elite.
Nope.
Right. They're rotation guys, the Andre Drummonds, guys like that.
Totally.
I thought that the last of the dying breed who did get selected, number one was DeAndre Ayton. And DeAndre Ayton is, I know he's still young, but he's nowhere near Sabonis in terms of production. So I feel like that was the last guy. Then you have James Wiseman, but James Wiseman was supposed to be able to stretch the floor, and he can't even get on the floor. Exactly. So really, Sabonis is a guy who you just haven't seen him. He's a blast from the past, but what he's able to do, it doesn't matter if it's old school or new school, it is productive, and he's getting it done for the Kings. 76ers preview when we return. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Jiffy Lube has a special promotion going on right now. Simply purchase a Pennzoil Platinum full synthetic oil change at Jiffy Lube and receive a $25 e-gift card from popular brands for food, gas, and more. It's that easy. Simply purchase a Pennzoil Platinum full synthetic oil change and receive a $25 e-gift card. So basically, going to Jiffy Lube can get you a free lunch or a pizza for dinner. That's what we call added value for the consumer. That's why Jiffy Lube is #1 in the greater Sacramento area for oil changes. Visit JiffyLube.com for more details and valuable coupons today.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
Okay, I know I can't be alone on this. Is anyone else behind on their Easter prep? Because it snuck up on me. Good thing I went to Kohl's. I found Sephora beauty finds for under $25 that'll be perfect for my girls' baskets. And I saved 40% on cute dresses for them too. Then I got myself a stylish dress for 20% off, plus an extra 15% off. Oh, and I earned Kohl's cash. Kohl's saves the day again. Select styles. Some exclusions apply. Sephora and Kids Easter looks coupons do not apply. 15% offer ends March 30th. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Ulta Beauty's semi-annual beauty event is happening now. Unleash your love for beauty with 50% off daily beauty steals on hair, skin, makeup, and fragrance. Shop your favorite brands like Tarte and Fenty Beauty by Rihanna. Plus, grab perfect hair care pairs from brands like Redken and Olaplex. And check out new arrivals from brands like Charlotte Tilbury and Dyson. Shop the Ulta Beauty semi-annual beauty event online, in-store, or try pickup today. Now through March 28th. Ulta Beauty. The possibilities are beautiful. Conditions apply.
To thank you for 40 unforgettable years, Dell Technologies is celebrating with anniversary savings on their most popular tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 13 Plus, powered by Intel Core processors, and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
Planning for spring at Lowe's means big savings on outdoor power equipment, and Lowe's knows nothing feels better than free. Buy one select Ego string trimmer, leaf blower, or mower kit. Get one select 56-volt battery free. That's up to a $299 value. Power through spring with Ego, the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 4/3 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
As we ask the question whether or not the game should be stopped if and when Domas Sabonis breaks the double-double streak. Got some texters who have some things to say. Hey, since Sabonis is not getting the love nationally, he should get some recognition from his home base. That's right. Also, the game is at home, so why not? Good for him and the fans. This is that was from the 916. From the 530, they should absolutely pause the game when he gets a double-double. We shouldn't be afraid to show our players all the love they deserve, especially in Sacramento. It'll get bashed nationally, but small markets deserve those moments with a heart emoji. Also, new emojis are out. Simone came in here, and we're thinking it's a Brandon Ayuk move. We're thinking, what did Shohei say? Simone says, guys, new emojis just dropped.
And for the record, I did actually say that this Ayuk news was happening too. I did bring that to your attention.
That was a different
emojis and
get yourself a producer who can do both.
Get you someone
Thank you.
that can do both.
The important stuff.
That is correct. And Sabonis, keep them coming. Should they just pause the game? Chris just wants to continue.
Somebody said they paused the game for LeBron. Guys, LeBron broke Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record of most points scored of all time.
Tomato.
Yeah, pomp and circumstance.
The NBA merger, Chris. We weren't even alive the last time something like this happened. Can we find?
This is crazy.
Can we find any footage from when Kevin Love previously did it and see what Minnesota did for them? Very comparable situation.
There we go.
All right, let's see what they do. Let's hear from our guy Steven, who wants to be a part of the conversation. What's up, Steven? What you got for us?
Good afternoon, boys. How you guys doing? Hope you guys had a good weekend.
Thank you.
Yes, they should stop the game. Absolutely, they should stop the freaking game for him. Why? Because we're Sacramento, and I'm sure this is the same argument everyone else has had too. They stopped the game. I mean, dude, this is literally not even in the same ballpark. Literally, we're talking about two different sports here. They stopped the game for Mariano Rivera when he got pulled. Okay, they stopped. They always stop the game, and they in baseball especially. If some guy's hot and he literally has a no through 7, and the manager is literally being like, I need you for the postseason. Let's go ahead and pull you, even though you have a no. Like, they give him a standing O on his way out. They literally pause the game on the way out. So as far as me being a super big homer, I really believe that they should stop the game. Give this man his moment to shine. Do not wait till the end of the game, even because they're going to give it to him anyway. But there's nothing better than in the heat of the moment, relishing in the recognition that you deserve. You just busted your ass, and you just went for 54 straight games with a double-double. We haven't seen this in our lifetime ever, except for Kevin Love, if you're old enough, because he's been around for like 30 years. But, we deserve it. Absolutely, we deserve it.
Thanks for the call, Steven, as always. So I'm just thinking, hold on now.
What is pausing the game, though? Because I think now I'm confused on what exactly everyone's defining as stopping the game.
You're just saying, right. I'm trying to think back to LeBron and Steph when Steph broke the 3-point record.
So when LeBron broke the scoring record, he hit the shot, it goes through the net, the game stops because there's an inbounds pass that then can happen. So there's a stoppage of play.
Right.
If Sabonis gets his 10th rebound, they're obviously not going to just stop the game after he grabs the rebound. But but that's different. That's not what I'm saying. Right. If there is a timeout, I'm saying they're going to acknowledge it, obviously. Yes. But what's not going to happen is at the next dead ball, the game is not going to be paused. Like, there's not going to be a whole ceremony.
Probably no, there won't be.
They might at a stoppage of time. Scott Moak is probably going to say, and with that rebound, Domantas Sabonis has now set an NBA record and there's probably going to be a standing ovation. Right. I would not classify that as pausing the game. That is acknowledging it at a stoppage, but they are not going to go out of their way to stop the game.
Yeah, but I think everybody gets what they want. I think it'll take care of itself organically.
Sure. Yeah.
It'll take care of itself organically. No one is saying grab the ball and call a timeout.
When you say stop the game, that's what I hear, is that the game is going to be paused for a longer than a minute.
Might take a little bit longer during the next dead ball to get your clap in it.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll be there.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely.
It's obviously deserved. It's just I don't know if it's a big enough record to justify stoppage.
That chant is going to be off the.
This is when we'll know.
Yes, this is when we'll know for sure
if people actually understand the chant or not.
Yeah, because when it happens, the entire crowd should do a nice little.
That's right.
I have never said this on air before.
Okay,
I'd like to take
it's a safe space.
I'd like to take 20% of this chant. Ownership here.
Really?
Because do you know who loaded this into the system?
I'm assuming you.
It was little Simone, who then got it played on Carmichael Dave's show.
Wow.
And Dave had that little beautiful idea of getting this chant going. So every time I hear those chants, I go like, that's 20% you, Simone.
Wow. So did you put it in with the thought of did you connect the dots before Dave connected the dots?
No, that was all Dave.
Oh,
that's why I get 20%.
Okay.
Chance.
But why did that song get loaded?
I put the song in because I like the song.
Okay. Gotcha. That's 20%.
Thank you.
That's 20% for sure. Yeah. And then it bloomed.
That's right.
I've never said that before, but
wow.
I always smile.
No,
that's right. There's a twinkle in your eye. Every
Simone
time.
is the butterfly effect that started the chant.
That's right.
It wouldn't be here without me.
That is a fact.
That is
sincere.
a fact.
That is just a fact.
And we'll
100%.
see how much it's grown tonight as Sabonis will be in rare form, but he's going to have to do it against a 76ers team that's not going to go down easy. They beat the Clippers yesterday. Second game off a back-to-back. They're doing their West Coast trip to semi-close of the season. The Sixers are 13-24 in games without Joel Embiid this season, but they did win and they beat the Clippers, and the Clippers were fully loaded or fairly fully loaded.
Yeah.
And the Kings have not beaten the Sixers in 10 straight games.
Yeah, 10 straight games. That's it's not great. You know, yeah, we just went through this with the Milwaukee Bucks the other day. It's just been every equation possible, and it doesn't matter. The Kings haven't been able to solve it. I think Dave said this morning that like 6 of those have been without Joel Embiid anyway. So it's like, it doesn't even matter if the Sixers have been at full health or not. They have owned the Kings. They have just straight up owned the Sacramento Kings for a really long time now, and nothing was more evident than earlier in the season when they didn't have Joel, and on a Friday on ESPN still got absolutely boat raced. I would hope that, I think Ashley said earlier, one of our callers was like, you know, maybe they'll have this in their minds when they come out tonight. I really hope so, man, because you got straight up embarrassed by this Sixers team last time you played them. There's no reason why Tobias Harris should be giving you issues. He's not Paolo Banchero. He's not an elite forward. He's a guy who can put together good games, but realistically, you should have the defensive weaponry to take care of him. And I really hope that the Kings' record of good defense continues tonight, because we've seen this team turn a corner defensively, and against a team that just doesn't have offensive firepower, I would hate to see tonight be a game where the Kings give up 120 plus.
Can't happen, and I don't even know how it would happen.
That's what I was trying to
based
think,
on who they have, unless you get Kelly Oubre, and he will blow kisses.
No thanks.
If he hits a 3 on you. You really don't want to see that. No. You don't want to see Tyrese Maxey doing his thing. That is the most intriguing matchup to me. Are you going to have to bring a blitz? Because with Keon, you're not supposed to need to blitz anymore. We've talked time and time again, and we've heard from Coach Mike Brown about what Keon is able to do defensively. This is a great test for Keon, and Tyrese Maxey has had to be more of a playmaker lately without Joel Embiid. And we had Jason Dumas on earlier, sports director for Cron 4, and they think that Maxey can be a dude, but they do want to add more to it. I don't think there's a world, and you basically asked the question, is there a world where it's Maxey's team? I think they're always, and whether it's Daryl Morey or whatever the case is, they're always going to want, and this is just where we're at in the NBA. Doesn't matter if he's Batman or Robin.
They want a second guy.
They want a second guy.
Yeah.
The question now is, but they still have Joel Embiid. Do they need a third guy?
Yeah.
Because Tobias Harris,
he's not that guy, pal. He's not that guy.
He's definitely on the Finesser of the Year award with the contract that he was able to pull off. And we're going to say all this, and I'm pretty sure I'm fairly sure he balled out against he
usually does
the Kings the last time that they faced the Kings. So hopefully that does not happen tonight. And just looking at the box score from what they were able to do against the Clippers, who we know the Clippers long and can do some things defensively. Tobias Harris had 24. Kelly Oubre had 12. Maxey had 24 and 6 assists. You would have thought maybe more assists. Buddy Hield, everyone's favorite former King, 9 points for Buddy. Cameron Payne is essentially what flipped that game for the
I would go insane if that happens.
We can't happen.
I cannot have Campaign 20 plus points.
What are we doing with Campaign? And he's a lefty, so I hate lefty on lefty crime here. But ugliest jump shot in the league?
I think so.
Top 3 for sure.
Top 3 for sure, without a doubt.
Jaren Jackson.
You got
Campaign, and
Tyrese up there.
I'm missing an obvious one. Oh, Tyrese Halliburton.
Tyrese doesn't have a pretty one.
Those are the 3 ugliest.
Yeah, there's got to be some big out there that probably has a disgusting shot, but like high level guys, like mid to high level guys. I'm giving Campaign. It's tough to not put him at number 1. That thing is ugly.
It's ugly, and you just don't believe it.
No,
because you just continue to think there's no way this is going in
just
again.
Keep letting him shoot, and he's like,
and you look up, and he's got 23 on you. So hopefully that does not happen.
Be expecting Buddy Hield boos tonight. Buddy gets a treatment here in Sacramento. It would not surprise me if the loudest, whether it be cheers or jeers of the night, are for Buddy Hield.
Are you even more than Sabonis?
I think it'll touch those. I think at least once it'll touch that, because Buddy's also an instigator. So if Buddy hits a couple threes,
Are you worried? If I'm not mistaken, when Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers came out here, Buddy was still on the team.
He was,
Yes.
And that's when Tyrese was also saying to boo him.
Yes.
And they lost that game. So now, are we worried about Buddy? And I feel like Buddy had 10 assists or something ridiculous.
He did. Yes, he did.
And he was a playmaker.
He plays different. Yeah, he plays different.
Playmaker buddy.
Golden one.
Yep.
Playmaker buddy. Well, we hope we do not see that tonight. We discuss the keys to the game when we return. Also, a texter is saying this is the problem with Sacramento.
Of course.
In terms of celebrating Domantas Sabonis. Stiles Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings 5-game homestand begins tonight against the Philadelphia 76ers. The push for the postseason is here, and every game is critical.
Dribble handoff to Malik. Can he do it again? Pocket pass back to Sabonis. The two-hand hammer. That could be a dagger. It's 115-107. Malik Monk with the assist pass for Domantas Sabonis.
Listen to all the thrilling moments beginning tonight at 7 on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports.
Hi, this is Scott Trout of Cordell & Cordell. If you're a dad who is facing divorce, there are extra layers of stress that may include stereotypes and assumptions. No two situations are the same. Our legal experience and dedication prepare us for whatever legal challenges we face together. You need a partner you can count on. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has represented men in divorce.
500 Capitol Mall, Suite 2120, Sacramento, California, 95814. Online at CordellCordell.com.
Getting your biggest tax refund from Jackson Hewitt can lead to some spirited reactions.
Jackson Hewitt, yeah!
Jackson Hewitt is so sure they'll get you your biggest refund that if they don't, you get your money back plus $100.
Jackson Hewitt, yeah!
Switch to Jackson Hewitt and we'll beat what you paid last year, even if you filed online.
Yeah!
Ain't nothing to it. Switch to Jackson Hewitt and pay less for tax prep, guaranteed. Proof of prior year payment required when filing. New clients only at participating locations through April 7th. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
Join Chris Watkins and the Sactown Sports Street Team this Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. at Fieldhouse American Sports Pub for some basketball madness and their mouth-watering full menu. 1310 Fulton Avenue. See you there.
On Sactown Sports.
Just got to take a second to talk about something and somewhere that I've been meaning to go. And Chris, we discussed this, and this was part of my birthday celebration. And I finally got out there, not too far from the crib, about 10 minutes away, maybe less than that. Gumbo King is real. It is real.
Yeah.
It was
I saw you were out
outstanding.
there. Yeah.
It was so good. Fried lobster tail.
Really?
With like a Alfredo cheese dipping sauce.
Yeah.
We had the King's gumbo. What else did we have? They bring you cornbread. It was ridiculous.
You said we might need to have a conversation about there being a new sack number one.
My number one.
Yeah.
It's definitely top three.
Ooh.
It's definitely top three. I've been a lot of places in Sacramento already.
Yeah. Was there more that you wish you could have tried? Like,
so they have the Kings and the Queens gumbo. Yeah. And then you ask, hey, which one do you like? That's what I always ask. Right. And the waitress said, we'll let you try both. So they gave us 2 mini cups of both.
Wow.
And then we decided to go with the King, and we went with the King, and I would definitely go back. And there was more stuff on the on the menu that I would definitely want to try.
I've heard a lot. I've heard a lot of good things. Never been out towards that neck of the woods, but if I were, I would definitely
come by. Because
I can't like. Is there? Well, I guess I'll find out when I go.
The gumbos don't have seafood.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, they don't have seafood. You have
shrimp,
to add.
So that's
so
perfect.
yeah, no, you're good to go.
There you go.
You're good to go.
Did you look up a Yelp before you went?
That's a fantastic question.
No, I did not.
That's a callback right there.
Yeah. No, social media. I just kept seeing it on social media. Saw Malik Monk was there.
That's right.
When was that? A couple months ago, and I said I gotta go.
I think you said Jay Holiday was there.
Jay Holiday was there.
Follow-up question for you, host. Did you leave a Yelp review?
I did not.
So you only leave negative Yelp reviews?
I don't only leave negative reviews. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. We're busy talking
corny,
Kings.
very cringe.
We're busy talking Kings right now. And as we discuss what needs to be done in order to defeat the 76ers, fresh off a very impressive win against the Clippers. I feel like the Clippers maybe overlooked the 76ers a little bit. This is from the 916. I think they're trying to say maybe it's me, but this is a problem with the Kings. It's like we're giving participation awards for a team that hasn't really done much. Let's be honest. Okay. I mean, does the rest of the league even really take a serious, gonna stop a game to give a guy a double-double award? LOL. I like Sabonis, but let's be real.
I think that's a bit harsh, but yeah. I mean, I kind of think that you're merging opinions there. I think that those two things can be separate. I mean, I think that you can still, because I would probably agree with you on the Sabonis double-double thing. Like at the end of the day, I don't really know how many other teams in the league are even aware that Sabonis is on this streak. Double-doubles are also, like, it kind of can become the same conversation that we have about triple-doubles, that it's a made-up stat, really, that we just acknowledge because it's round numbers and it really doesn't ultimately mean anything. So I hear you on that, but at the same time, like, I don't see what the team not having overall success and I would not call this a participation trophy. This is absolutely something that Sabonis earned. It was not just given. He had to go out there every single night, with the exception of that one game where he came in just to get the double-double. That was only once, though. That was only one game. But with the exception of that, like, he earned this thing, and you know, it's not like it's completely nothing. I wouldn't say it's embarrassing if the Kings do it. It's just it's just not something that I would recommend doing.
Yeah,
but I don't think it says like, oh, you're a joke of an organization.
Or that's the problem with I don't really understand that's the problem with the Kings. I think the Kings are trying to build something.
I also don't think the Kings actually have say in this. If I would have to imagine, the NBA would have to approve any stoppages of games. Like, I would think that that's an NBA decision and not a Kings decision, for what it's worth.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, for me, I think it's a very fine line between enjoying life and enjoying people that are successful and succeeding in areas where your peers have not.
Yeah.
And you said it, and I think you said this beautifully, Chris, and I'm going to keep stealing it from you. If this was Anthony Davis, this would be a much bigger deal.
Oh my God.
This would be a huge deal if it was Anthony Davis.
Massive.
In LA with LeBron. LeBron will be hyping it up.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody would be hyping it up.
Yeah.
His ability to just go out every single day. But because it's Sabonis, it's a little old Sabonis and little old Sacramento, it's whatever. It's whatever. Now, no. Should you throw a parade on this? Absolutely not.
Should we hang a banner? No.
Well, they hung an in-season banner. They might in LA. You never know out there with Mickey Mouse and having all the fun. I know they were just in Disney World, the Kings were, but you got Disneyland out there in LA. That's how they're living. And I feel that this is literally the line. Hey, next dead ball, it gets mentioned.
Yeah.
We all stand up.
Standing O.
We give him a standing O for the work that he's done. And Sabonis himself will tell you that he doesn't think about it.
Yeah.
He wants to win.
Yeah.
These guys are out here now. You are seeing tribal screams from Sabonis. You are seeing tribal screams from Fox.
Yeah.
They understand what the mission is.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you can't enjoy.
Celebrate things along the way, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that you can't enjoy what people have been doing along the way. Aaron on the Sac chat is saying Domas needs an In-N-Out sponsorship for his double-doubles. That's outstanding.
That's fantastic.
That's good right there.
If we could potentially jinx this for a second, what
I hate where this is going.
It's always a great pretense there. When do we think Sabonis gets it? Because I could see a first quarter double-double just getting it out of the way.
First quarter?
Dude, they got but they're playing Paul Reed and Mo Bamba. They are playing literally Mo Bamba, who is more famous from a song than his basketball. Great song. Fantastic song. Still has a chokehold on college. But they've got this guy who's a bigger song than basketball player out there at center, who's 7 feet tall and maybe weighs what De'Aaron Fox does when he's I don't know when he's heavier. I think
a double-double.
There you go. After a double-double or a Banzito taco or whatever. I just think Sabonis is going to dominate it. I could really see. I think by halftime that thing's wrapped up.
There you go. This is from the 916 following up. What I mean is it feels like the organization or fan base just happy with the little things, not to disrespect what Sabonis has done. You all have made great counterpoints. There you go, 916. And look, you're not going to stop anything. I don't think Sabonis, he's still going to have haters either way.
Oh, yeah.
It's just if you are if you're on the inside, there can't be friendly fire.
Yeah.
Right. And nobody is trying to make a huge deal about this, but it is pretty impressive. And you're not you to the 916, but other people that don't follow the Kings, your favorite player has not done this. Your favorite player's player has not done this. And the respect that we feel that Sabonis should get on a day-to-day basis that he's not getting, things like this helps. And we've talked about making a big deal out of this. Maybe next season, same situation. Maybe Domantas Sabonis is on the all-star team.
Yep.
They do not have the brands that these other teams do. And Karl Anthony Towns gets in because he does commercials and podcasts, right? And the Kings don't have all of that. So little things like this, and I hate to say little because it's not a little thing, but things like this can really start to change. Maybe it gets mentioned on SportsCenter, maybe for a half a second.
Maybe in the playoffs.
Maybe in the playoffs.
Maybe he truly does get an in-and-out sponsorship.
That's right.
For double-doubles.
It's all connected. It's all connected. When we
else wants to join me on the Jinx? That's cool. That's fine.
Well,
I would love to.
It's not going to be the first quarter. It's the third quarter.
Let's not waste time about this. Okay, the Kings are in a playoff race.
It's the third quarter. It's the third quarter when we return, trying to get back on a heater. Okay, and Simone. We're going to talk about
I'm
Simone's
devastated.
Dog pick on Friday and how it didn't end up the way she would have hoped. We also have prop talk if you want some free cheese. Stiles Watkins, Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Elevate your golf game at Timber Creek Golf Course in Roseville. Just named to the prestigious Golfer's Choice 2024 Top 25 Public Golf Courses in all of California by Golf Pass. Timber Creek offers an unparalleled experience. Our revamped practice facility features a grass driving range, expanded putting greens, and a chipping area complete with sand traps. Whether you're a pro or just starting your golf journey, Timber Creek is the place to be. Visit us and discover why we're the talk of Sacramento and beyond. Unwind and tee off at Timber Creek Golf Course.
It's time to trade in and trade up at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com. It's all a click away.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own one report.
National Ping Club Fitter of the Year, Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is introducing the straightest, most forgiving Ping driver ever with the new Ping G430 Max 10K driver. A fixed back weight, Ping's largest head profile, and a carbon fly wrap crown help G430 Max 10K launch the ball higher with less spin for consistently longer and straighter results. Schedule your fitting and see for yourself at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue to Cap City Freeway, or online at HagenOaks.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Fitty and Fiber, Dawson Oil Company, and Good Guys Heating and Cooling.
Sixers with a chance to create a cushion that the Clippers cannot overcome. Maxey back to work. Tyrese taking over.
We wanted a foul call too, letting everyone know.
Sacramento has a new tag team in the midday. It's Stiles and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
The keys to the game tonight to beat a shorthanded 76ers team. And obviously they're shorthanded, but at this point, it's been so long since they had Joel Embiid, it probably doesn't feel shorthanded. It maybe felt more shorthanded when they faced the 76ers in Philly. But now I think the Sixers are quite used to it. Doesn't make them a better team as they are kind of fighting to stay out of the play-in themselves. But they do have some guys that can get hot, and if you let them, they will sneak up on you. You can just ask the Clippers, who lost to the 76ers last night. That's a bad loss for the Clippers, but the Clippers have more breathing room than the Sacramento Kings. The Sixers right now, they are a half game behind the Pacers. The Sixers are in the play-in. They are the 8th seed, tied with the Heat, who the Heat seem to have the tiebreaker, and they are a half game behind the Pacers, trying to just get out of that play-in and stay afloat until Joel Embiid returns. Keys to the game, I think the first one is simple, Chris. You have to contain Tyrese Maxey, and he can't go. I mean, the one thing is, okay, as they beat the Clippers yesterday, Tyrese Maxey has 24, right? You can't have what happened. And the problem with this is the whole contain thing, because Jalen Brunson, when he went off for 40 whatever against the Kings, if the Kings weren't ice cold, they probably still win that game.
Right.
So there's a part of me that thinks that Tyrese Maxey can get 35, but if you don't let anybody else get going, it depends on what your philosophy is in these situations. Because if Tyrese is sitting at 25 points and 7 assists, and you get Kelly Oubre going or Tobias Harris going, that's a problem. So it depends on what your thought process is. But with Keon, I can't imagine Tyrese going that crazy.
Right. I mean, that's the guy that that's supposed to be what Keon's here for, really, is to slow a guy down like Tyrese Maxey and just make it difficult for him. Like, I agree with you. Like, the Kings need to kind of decide what kind of game they want to play today. Do they want to play how they've been playing these last couple weeks? And, maybe to your point, try and play more of a Jalen Brunson style where, hey, let Maxey get his. He's going to do what he's going to do, but let's not let Tobias Harris get 20. Let's not let Tsunami Papi get 20 points, okay? Let's not let Campaign do what he did the other night. That's how you win the game for sure, is we're going to win a defensive matchup today where, we just got to hope that our shots fall. Malik went 0 of 11 yesterday or on Saturday. Probably not going to happen again. So I think you just bank on the fact that your offense is going to be good enough, even if it is just good enough. And you just bank on the fact that, hey, we've played really good defense here lately. Let's not throw that out the window and try and get into a shootout and possibly lose. Let's just play good defense. And you know what? If they score 112 points or whatever, 108 points, there's a pretty good chance that we're going to score more than that, even if we're not on offensively. So I would like to see the Kings do just that. And like you said, just figure it out. Figure out what your game plan is going to be. Either let Maxey cook or try and slow down those other guys, or or just try and make sure nobody, goes crazy and nobody is able to just dominate the game. Because, again, I do think a big problem with that Knicks game is Jalen Brunson was the best player on the floor. Mm-hmm. If you don't allow Tyrese Maxey to get 30, he's not going to be the best player on the floor. And you just got to hope that De'Aaron or Malik or Sabonis has themselves a big enough night to kind of carry the offensive load. But tonight feels like, I don't know why, I just feel like today is going to be a day where the shots go in.
Yeah, and hey, Shooters Arena.
That's
You're back home.
Right.
Again, they are 6-6 when returning from a road trip. Hopefully that is not the case with the Kings tonight, and they can add to that and get above 500 when returning from these road trips. The next thing I would say, Chris, is you got to start fast. I think a lot of these games where you kind of sleepwalk, right? Looking at what happened against the Clippers, the Sixers were not scared, and that first quarter ends. You don't want to be chasing. That first quarter ends, and they beat the Clippers in the first quarter, 41-29. Teams that aren't here and are not a threat, you got to put them down early. Don't give them any hope, because now you're chasing.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're chasing, and 41-29 after that first quarter. At the very least, it should be a tie ball game, down 2 points, something like that. Just don't draw blood. You cannot leave that first quarter down double digits and then have to chase. We've seen with the Kings, they've done it before, but it's not a good place they want to be, because then that free-flowing offense doesn't feel as free-flowing.
Yeah, no, and then you're running into the issue that we ran into a lot this season, where you're giving a team that probably shouldn't have a high level of confidence, you're giving them a high level of confidence. I mean, if they're going to score, you said they scored 40 yesterday in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Like, if they're going to do that, that kind of tells me, they're going to probably be in rhythm for a good portion of this game. And that's not what the Kings want. In a weird way, I can't believe I'm saying it, but the Kings probably want to play a little bit of a slower pace today, or not a slower pace, but they're going to want to ensure that Philadelphia isn't going, because the Kings, I think, are confident that, hey, if this thing turns into a shootout, we can play that game and we can probably win it. But if we're going to contain Philly and again, not allow them to score that many points, our offense can struggle and we can still probably put up as many points as these guys. So absolutely. It's just making sure that guys, again, the Kelly Oubre campaign, Buddy Hield, if one of those three guys goes off, it's probably going to be a tough night for the Kings. But if they can hold those guys to what they're supposed to do, under 16, 17 points, I think it should be an easier game today, because, again, Philly has not been a good team. Like, regardless of the fact that they just beat the Clippers, they have not played well with Joel Embiid here. They've fallen all the way to the 8th seed in the East. The Kings cannot be that slump breaker. They have to continue to do what every team has done, and that's put down the Sixers when they're not at their best, because without Joel Embiid, they are an 8th seed. They just are not that scary of a team without him.
You talk about guys that just figure it out and was unstoppable. This is a dude who he gets paid a lot of money. We called him a finesser. Tobias Harris was a problem in Philadelphia. 37 points.
Ooh, was it that much? Wow.
He had 37 points. He was 14-25 from the floor, 3 for 7 from 3-point range. Then you had Nicholas Batum, who went 4 for 4 from 3. Tyrese Maxey had 21, which I guess is light work for Tyrese Maxey, but did a little bit of everything. 3 rebounds, 4 assists. Your boy Paul Reed had 8 points. Okay. And that was really all she wrote from the bench. Mo Bamba had 11. Mo Bamba had 11 points and 4 blocks. Count them, 4 blocks. And on the Kings side of things, you had De'Aaron Fox with 21. I mean, that game got out of hand very quickly. He was 2 for 7 from 3-point range. Keegan Murray was 3 of 7 from 3-point range. Sabonis had 14 points, 12 rebounds, only 5 assists. Nobody was really making a shot. They shot 21% from 3-point range. Meanwhile, the 76ers shot 42% from 3-point range.
That is not what they do either.
Let's get to Doug, who wants to be a part of the conversation. What's up, Doug? You're on Stiles and Watkins. What you got for us?
Gentlemen, thank you. I know you guys are up against the whatever you guys call it, at the end of the show, crossover. What I have is, and I've noticed this because I've been watching the game for a long time, is that anytime one of their big stars and stuff goes out, the distribution of the ball and the number of touches that they get all of a sudden they become an all-star team because guys are then more included in the game. So when Embiid goes down, I expect that the other guys getting touches play better. When Kobe used to go out, they would get better. When Doncic went out, Brunson steps up, and all of a sudden they play better. So I'm not surprised by what Philadelphia is doing. You're just getting guys who are good players anyway, and they just get more touches. In regards to this last 12 games or so, I'm sorry, I just turned in right now, but I'm thinking if a 7-5 number realistically at the end will get you what you were last year, is that good enough to get us into the 6th spot, or an 8-4? And I haven't heard if you guys broken it down yet. But that's all I have. Have a great rest of the show, and we'll talk to you next time. Thank you.
Thanks for the call, Doug. Yeah, the number is tough because of who it is.
Mm-hmm.
And really, it'll be easier to do that after this week, after they play the Mavericks. Because the Mavericks, depending on what happens with the Mavericks, you could still have that tiebreaker. But 7-4
put you at 48 wins yet again.
Yeah, well, this is last year's price is not this year's price. And 7-4 puts you at
48. Yeah.
48.
Yep. You're at 41 and 29.
Doesn't
right now.
feel good enough.
It depends. I mean, yeah, if we're talking for a 6 seed, it might just barely be good enough. But
out of those 7,
two of those are Dallas
against Dallas,
which kind of carries a bit more weight. So you're
Mm-hmm.
kind of also bearing one of your opponents, and then it's just too close. I mean, it's too close to try and determine at this point what's going to be enough or not enough wins, because we think Phoenix is going to play themselves out of the situation, but who knows? I mean, if Phoenix is going to be just as big of a conversation as Dallas is going to be down the stretch here, then, there's no reason to, you just can't really put that number out there yet, to your point, until we have a better idea of what the real final stretch of this is going to look like. And that's going to be after this week, after the Kings have played Dallas twice. So I know it's not a great answer, but we're kind of in a wait and see. But 48 sounds like you're still leaving a little bit of leeway there for others to maybe hop over you. More than that, you're probably doing yourself pretty solid.
48 with both wins against the Mavericks probably gets you in.
Yep.
48, but you split with the Mavericks, then
who knows?
It really depends on what the Mavericks do.
Yep.
So just get to 50 and make it easy.
There you go.
For everyone. When we return, Prop Talk and Dog segment. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Keep it here to Sactown Sports for the Sacramento Kings push toward the postseason.
Get analysis from our local shows, breakdowns from our Kings Insider.
Save it. He gives it now to Barnes. 1 on the clock. Desperate 3 on the way. He scores the triple. Game tied at 121 apiece. 17 for Barnes.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Dr. Ken Howachek and kinesiologist Kelsey Graham discuss the Good Feet store.
The foot has a lot of detail. It has a lot of complexity. There's a lot that can go wrong. A lot of problems start in the foot and end up elsewhere. Knee pain, hip pain, back pain. When aligning the feet properly, we can see relief elsewhere. And that's the beauty of the Good Feet arch support. It can place the feet into their ideal position and gives them the balance, the support, the comfort, and the relief of the pain. The bottom line is that the Good Feet arch support can be a highly effective pain relief solution when nothing else has worked.
The feet have a really big impact on how the rest of the body moves. The knees, the hips, the lower back especially. If the foot isn't properly aligned, all of these joints are going to function incorrectly. That results in a lot of muscle tension and chronic pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that the right arch supports can put the foot in its proper alignment. So all the joints of the rest of the body will be aligned properly as well. And when the body's aligned, we can reduce the risk of injury and chronic pain.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Modesto, Stockton, and Vacaville for a free fitting and test walk.
We're recording this Progressive commercial on a real boat to let people know that when you bundle your home, boat, and other vehicles... What was that, Flo? Progressive saves you money, Jamie. Why are we doing this on a boat? We were going for authenticity. We're going to the city? Authenticity. You mean Atlantic City? But we're not in the Atlantic. Are we?
Bundle your home and other vehicles with Progressive.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Low Ford, take your base. The only thing worse than a pitcher running out of gas on the mound is your old phone running out of storage for your photos in the stands. Goodbye, home run! Switch to Verizon and get a great deal on a new iPhone 15 Pro with tons of storage for all the ballpark pics you want. Just trade in your iPhone, any model, in any condition, so you'll feel like you're winning, even when your team's not. Trade in any iPhone in any condition for a great deal on iPhone 15 Pro with unlimited Ultimate and get iPad and Apple Watch SE with eligible service plan. Only on Verizon.
Guys, this month only, Revive Men's Health Sacramento offers qualified patients a free supply of ED medication to kickstart their treatment and enhance intimacy. Book your free T-Check exam and consultation today. Call 916-365-4566 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Live and local, it's Stiles and Watkins. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
It is time for some prop talk and dog segment. And before we get into that, Chris, you have a slightly updated injury report.
Slightly updated, nothing major in terms of stuff we haven't heard before. The Kings front still questionable for tonight is Sasha Vezenkov with his ankle injury. We've seen him go through multiple shoot-arounds and things like that. We thought he was going to be active last week, but still not seeming like he's gonna definitely play today. So still waiting to hear on the Sasha front in terms of out tonight. Of course, Kevin Huerter, Trey Lyles is still out. Mason Jones and Jordan Ford are on assignment for G League, so they will not be available for today. On the 76ers front, Kyle Lowry is active today. He was questionable with rest. I believe he missed yesterday's game because of rest or load management. Questionable for tonight is Kelly Oubre Jr. with a shoulder injury. And then out is Robert Covington, Joel Embiid, DeAnthony Melton, and somebody else who's on G League assignment.
There you go. This Sasha thing is
it's strange.
So interesting.
It is really, really interesting.
I remember in Philly, that was when they randomly went to him after things got out of hand, and he got in the game. He only played 9 minutes. He was 1 for 5 from the field. He ended up, played 9 minutes. He ended up scoring 2 points. That game was just a complete mess, but it looked like he was going to play. It was very clear that he was going to play until he wasn't. Until he wasn't. All right, Simone, it is time for Prop Talk.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Prop Talk and Dog segment. I think there's a very obvious one here. The question is, who's going to take it? Actually, we might be talking about two different things.
Well, I would assume that you're talking about Sabonis rebounds. I don't know what
that
the number
actually
is.
isn't what that's. It's probably 18 or something
I
crazy.
have no idea what.
You know what they're going to start doing? They're going to stop offering it by itself.
Oh, so it would have to be a combo one?
Yeah, now
they've been putting crazy numbers.
So right now,
front.
it's 15 for Sabonis.
15 flat?
15 flat.
That's hefty.
That is not the obvious one.
No, that's really, really heavy. I'm curious what your obvious one is. I mean, clearly not. Clearly, it's all yours.
Too,
It's yours for the taking.
The obvious, yes. Okay. Well, the obvious one is Malik Monk points.
What is it set
off
at?
a donut?
What is it set at?
16 and a half.
That is not a discount. That is not a discount
It's a
at all.
slight discount. He was at 17 and a half and 17.
He just dropped 0.
That's what I'm saying. Buy low.
I mean, we were with Kevin Huerter. We were at 9.5, 8.5.
And he still wasn't hitting. Malik Monk, 16 and a half. Lock it in.
Okay.
Lock it in, okay.
That's
with
not where
confidence.
I was going. Simone, do you want to go? Or I can
Yeah, let me go very quickly because I got a phone call coming in here. I'm going to go ahead and take Kiki.
Ooh.
1.5 steals. Give me the over on that tonight.
Is that Keon Ellis or
Yes.
Keegan? Actually?
1.5 steals. At first, I thought you said
Yeah.
Keegan. I
was trying to talk
be
quickly.
very impressed.
Kiki is my shorthand for Keon.
For
and
Keon.
So give me 1.5 for
1.5 steals.
I love it. I looked at that one in the last game, and I think he had 2 steals last game.
Well, I thought that was going to happen last time, Chris. It was at 2.5.
Yeah,
The steals and blocks
last time
did not happen.
Yeah, I'm also looking. I see Keon Ellis 6.5 points after just seeing him drop 18. Like
he's gonna put it up.
That's 2 threes in another bucket. I'm tempted to, but it's almost too low, and I don't want to take it. I'm gonna take. You know what? I'll take the Sabonis 15 because
you're gonna take it.
I'm gonna take it because he's gonna be on a mission. He's not just gonna stop at 10.
Well, and to be fair, not to go to Russell Westbrook.
Okay.
Whatever was happening with those triple doubles out there in OKC, but the team knows. So, Keegan T-Rex arms it, let Sabonis grab it.
Maybe a tip ends up being a rebound.
Maybe something like that.
I'll go Sabonis over 15 rebounds.
Okay. There you go.
It's a scary one. That's a really high number, but he's going against Paul Reed and Mo Bamba. Like, he should be able to. We're going to see a lot of shoulders thrown today.
The only thing that throws that off, honestly, is if the Kings take care of business and it's a blowout. And it's a nice blowout.
Alan.
I'm just
You're
saying.
so funny. You're hilarious.
You know what confuses me about the steals, though? It's just you don't know if a deflection. I don't know how it gets. That's what scares me about the steals.
The steals, the blocks, they'll merge them together. It's
like if De'Aaron pops it out or Keon pops it out, and then De'Aaron grabs it,
or if someone's going up
steal?
for a shot, but you slap down at it. Is that a block or is that a steal?
It's going to be pretty obvious tonight.
Well, it better be.
For my sake.
It better be. All right.
Okay.
That was Prop Talk. Feeling good about it. Now it's time for Dog segment. And my dog, obviously, I might just double up here. I mean, a donut. A donut.
Did we double adopt on Friday?
Oh, I think you guys did co-parent.
Did we?
I think so.
I was just thinking it was me. I was I'm exposed.
He picked HB on Friday.
There you go.
I picked,
So you want to take in this little shelter pup?
I'm taking Malik Monk.
Okay.
I'm taking
Monk
Malik
Yard
Monk.
dog here?
Yes. Tonight.
Okay.
Chris hit on his dog.
That is, yeah.
Keegan Murray. Chris did well.
I was thinking about you guys. I was haunted as my dog wasn't doing anything, dude.
Your dog was all chained up. That was the problem. I'm going to go with Domantas Sabonis. I mean, again, I think he's going to hit this double-double first quarter, maybe early second if he's feeling lazy, honestly. He knows he can get it today. I just think he's going to dominate. I mean, that's the clear. I mean, Fox might have his hands full with Maxey trying to X out that point total. Sabonis should just absolutely dominate in the paint today. There's no reason why Paul Reed and Mo Bamba should slow him down at all. I'm expecting I want a 20-20 out of Sabonis tonight. Don't just get the record, get it and plow through it.
Okay. All right.
I love that. I absolutely love that.
Thank you.
For my dog, I think I'm going to be doubling down here today. Double adoption. 2 puppies for 1. Give me Keon again.
Keon again, keeping
My
it
dog.
simple. Keon Ellis. Is he going to put Maxey on Ellis Island?
We'll see.
Tonight.
I hope so.
It would make sense.
They're going to screen him. They're going to screen a lot.
Yeah.
They're going to try to get Keon off of Tyrese a lot.
I would assume so, yeah. Get a lot of Tobias Harris action probably. It'll be interesting. I mean, Tobias is somebody who's going to have to be a scorer for them tonight. He's going to have to be a lot. He's going to have to look like Jonathan Isaac, honestly, for them tonight. It'll be interesting, man. It'll be really, really interesting because Keon, we've seen it. I mean, he's locked down Dame. He's locked down guys of this caliber before, but this is a young, really fast guard.
Really fast.
I'm sure he goes against De'Aaron pretty often in practice, but this feels like a pretty big test for Keon today. I think he's gonna be up for it. But
is he close to speed wise? Is he close to De'Aaron Fox?
Probably number 2, if not number 3. People say
Touchy
Ja.
boy as well too.
Yeah.
Different.
What are they
They're
doing out there?
They're losing. They say we keep our guys fresh for the pros.
Right.
Okay.
We're not
wasting
worried.
time in this tournament.
We're not worried about the NCAA tournament at all.
How crazy is that? Like,
he's a good recruiter, Calipari. He's just not a great coach to me.
Like, that's one of those situations where if you're a Kentucky fan, you almost can't be mad because this is kind of what the deal was. Like Calipari was like, I thought we were all in on this. Like I get the stars, I get the all-stars, but we're not like actually trying to do things here, but we're going to win the summer. The season, not so much, but the summer is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
You're going to be so hyped.
But I think NIL has also changed his ability, and he's not getting, I don't know off the top of my head, but I would assume it's getting more, I don't know if evenly dispersed, but it's getting dispersed more than previously thought, and he's not just getting the best guys, and he also with the G League, now the G League Ignite is cooked, but losing out on G League guys, so he's getting guys that are going to be good in the NBA, but they're still young, and they're losing to guys that are going to be accountants later, but they're grown men.
It's just crazy.
They are literally grown men. This is from Brandon Deitzman. I got Keon tonight. He's on top of the world right now for his dog. Yeah, Jess Escoto. Malik has to let the dog out tonight. He's going to.
Arf.
He's going to. Trust me. From Patrick Donaldson, hopefully Sixers don't know about Sabonis' record and try harder to get rebounds so they aren't the team he gets the record on. I think Patrick might be a Sixers fan, possibly. Patrick also saying Monk goes off tonight and his song is Rocking in the Arena.
Yes.
What? That is the question.
Come on, that's the $1 million question.
Will we want the Monk be played tonight? I don't personally.
Can we get a test run?
That's a prop right there.
If that gets played, you can't tell me nothing tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk in here thinking, we got action.
Yeah.
Julian, thanks to his call, we made the call.
Yep.
We got that done in a week if it happens.
Crazy.
I don't see it happen.
I think it might, man. I'm going to say, Simone, we'll put it's Alan's making me feel like maybe the number's 0.5, but I want to say 1.5.
What, minutes played or plays?
No. The times that it's played.
Oh, you even think it's going to be multiple?
It would replace the humdiddly.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just going to be, I thought we were sampling it, giving it a test drive.
Maybe.
Who knows?
So then we'll put that.
Okay.
0.5.
Yeah.
0.5 plays today for we want the Monk.
Okay.
I'm going over.
I'm going under.
Ooh,
Simone?
I'm going to take the over too.
Is there something you know? Is there something you know that I don't know?
Somebody.
We'll see.
I feel, is this insider trading, Mr. Otani? What's going on here?
Maybe. I don't know.
Allegedly.
Chris Betts.
Are you playing me right now from John Williams on the sack chat? Keegan for 30 is my dog. Okay.
We love it. We love it.
We want Sasha. We do not know if Sasha will play, but hopefully Sasha gets back in there.
Yeah.
From the 209, Walter and Stockton. Domas is my dog tonight.
Gotta be.
22 points, 18 rebounds.
More. Give me more.
22 points, 18 rebounds. Yeah, I think that might be the sleeper.
Yeah.
It might be points tonight for Domas. That's my sleeper.
Is him hitting over the points?
Yeah, everybody's sleeping.
Everyone's thinking rebounds.
Everybody's thinking rebounds.
19.5 is what his
I feel like it's like that every single game.
Yeah, it is. 18 or 19.5. I think he's going to go crazy. I really think that today is going to be a big Domantas Sabonis game. Who knows? You know what? I don't know why I'm living 30-30. Give me.
Come on now.
I just think it's going to be a really big game. I maybe a triple double. Like I think he's going to have his hands all over this one.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Jess Escoto on the sack chat. We have friends in high places. It's happening. We want the Monk.
That's right.
Maybe happening.
Jess is part of it.
Yes, it may be happening tonight. We shall see. Right. John Williams, Domas, 30, 20, and 10.
That's what I'm saying, John. That's what I'm saying. Let's not sell our guys short.
If it's going to go down, it's going to go down. Well, you know what's going down next. It will be the Drive Guys with Whitey Gleason and Kyle Draper. Thank you for listening to Stiles and Watkins. Thank you to Jason Dumas from Cron 4 for joining us. Thank you to Simone, as always. Thank you for all the calls. Thank you for all the texts. Thank you for all the sack chat. We will talk to you tomorrow. And until then, secure the bag, light the Philly cheesesteak beam.
Subscribe to Sactown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com.